You are about to enter the fantasy football show.
Let me tell you something about Christian Watson. This guy is not just a potential top 10, 12 wide receiver, a low-end fantasy football wide receiver one. No, this guy can actually be a top 6 to 10 wide receiver in 2023. Now, a lot of people that don't like to predict the future, they don't like to believe in anything crazy until it happens. And those are what we call petrified Peters. Those are upset Ungers. Those are worried Williams. Those are late to the party Landons. And that's okay. You might be conservative with your fantasy football information. That's okay. We're not mad at you. In fact, we need you. You are a part of this equation, because if we don't have people doubting Christian Watson in 2023, he won't continue to go in territories where we still think he can explode from his value. Now, the question is, can he? He's climbing ADP, though. In a very competitive league, you're going to have to take him in like the late third round. That's probably your best case scenario. You got a 3-4 turn pick. You get Watson and Jahmyr Gibbs. It's a pretty darn good combo. I don't want anybody taking Watson in round 2 because I'm talking him up. I don't want anybody taking Watson at the very top of round 3. Grab him in a good ADP position so you aren't put in a bad spot if he starts off slow, if Jordan Love starts off slow. This guy, Christian Watson, right here is a top 6 to 10 wide receiver. Get your cheesehead ready, get your popcorn ready. Christian Watson's going to the moon, and the Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Take a lap.
Let me break down why that's not Let me break down why not doing anything is such an inaccurate way to describe Christian Watson. He got very little action in the beginning of the year. He was learning. He was trying to absorb. He was making mistakes. Aaron Rodgers was yelling at him left and right, fast tracking him. You hear me talk about fast tracking. No one uses that terminology. If you hear it, you know they're watching the show. Fast tracked. Aaron Rodgers can mature a wide receiver along his maturing process more than any quarterback in the National Football League. Right here. Learning 4 targets, 2 catches, 34 yards. Learning 9 yards. Learning 8 yards, 1, 12, 24. He did nothing through 9 weeks. We'll go back to the game logs in a minute. When we look at his 2022 stats as a whole, you see 41 receptions, 611, and 7 touchdowns. You also see 2 rushing touchdowns and 80 yards. Looks a lot like Jahan Dotson's stat line. 7 touchdowns, very short period of time. What is remarkable, not great, not interesting, remarkable, is that he did all this in a very condensed period of time. It's not really 14 games when you look at the data. When you're smart enough to dig into the numbers and look at what he did, where he did it, and what does the 14 games really mean? It means he was on the field a little bit during the first 9 weeks, but didn't do anything. You know that he's on a course of greatness and the trajectory is heading straight to the moon.
The moon.
9 total touchdowns as a rookie that didn't do much at all in the first 9 weeks of the season. So back to his game log, starting in week 10, 107 yards, 4 receptions, 3 touchdowns. And you could say, oh, that's a big number. That's why he's got such big stats. But keep looking. Look at his weeks 10 through 13. 48 yards and 2 touchdowns. Week number 12 against Philly. And that first game was against Dallas, by the way. Week 10, 107 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Dallas Cowboys. 48 yards and 2 touchdowns the next week against the Titans. Philly, 110, 1 touchdown. Chicago, 48 yards and a touchdown. He scored 7 touchdowns of his 9 in that window of time. Then he hit this week 14 bye, 46, 49, 11. He did have 104 yards in week 18. He did drop a touchdown late in the year, a couple of them, frankly. And you could look at that as a negative and say, why is he dropping touchdown passes? I think it was a bad run route by Watson where he would have been wide open and he didn't look, and Aaron Rodgers threw the football to him and he didn't see it and he turned, if I remember correctly, and they laughed about it. Aaron Rodgers wasn't mad at him. He already had given him his stamp of approval that he was on his way to becoming an absolute monster. You don't trip and fall into these numbers in 4 consecutive games. You don't. You can't accidentally do that. You are not an outlier when you drop 4 games in this fashion right here. 107-3, 48-2, 110-1, 48-1. Oh, but we're not finished. In this week number 13, where he had 48 yards and a touchdown against the Chicago Bears, he also ran 1 time for 46 yards and a touchdown, essentially pulling in 8 touchdowns in a 4-game period one of which was a remarkable 46-yard run, which is why you often hear me call him a Deebo Samuel type player. This guy could rush for 200 yards on the ground and 2 to 3 touchdowns on the year if they use him properly, if they use him like a weapon near the end zone. Anytime they're in the red zone, sweeps to this kid, a behind the line of scrimmage little toss to Watson, let him run it in from 15 yards out. Watson can run for 200 yards and 2 or 3 touchdowns on the ground, in addition to what I believe probably won't be numbers that he scored inside this pace of 4 games, but 1,300 yards, 1,250, 7 to 10 touchdowns, 80 receptions. That would be a disappointing year that I would be accepting of, but he has a bigger ceiling than 1,200, 1,300 yards, 7 touchdowns, 80 receptions. He has the ability to get 1,300 yards, 10 to 12 touchdowns total, 80 to 90, 80 to 95 receptions. He has been fast-tracked by Aaron Rodgers. He is ready to go. He left 2022, not a graduating rookie into a sophomore season. He's like a 3 or 4 year vet on the quick track, advancing through a year or 2 of learning through being force-fed by Aaron Rodgers, trial by fire. And he walks in to catch footballs from a kid that I think is pretty good in Jordan Love. Not great yet, but good enough, competent enough to throw the football, to get the football moving down the field. And if this team does struggle in the third and fourth quarter in a lot of games, and I do expect they will, I don't see them as a playoff contending team, but a team that looks better and better each year. Think about the Lions last year, not a playoff team, but almost, and you were excited about them. I could see Jordan Love having that kind of year this year and spoon feeding, force feeding, laser locking on Christian Watson. I can see the offense kind of building everything around Christian Watson, running the ball with Christian Watson to the tune of 200 yards and 1, 2, 3 touchdowns on the ground. If the Packers are playing from behind, they're tossing the football to this kid over and over and over. He's going to have so much target share opportunity in the third and fourth quarter of games, it's going to be crazy. And if you're wondering if there's a rapport between the two, there is. It's not big, but there is a rapport between the two, because when Jordan Love did come in week number 12 against the Eagles, he threw a touchdown pass. He was 6 of 9 for 113. Looked pretty good. 6 of 9 for 113 and a touchdown. Guess who caught the touchdown? This guy right here, Christian Watson. There's a lot to love about this situation being a situation of playing from behind late in games, throwing the ball a ton. There's a lot to love about this situation in Jordan Love being a pretty competent passer, I believe. A guy I'm very comfortable taking as my QB2 in fantasy to back up my quarterback. A guy I believe has more than enough weapons with Aaron Jones, Christian Watson, Dobbs, Luke Musgrave, who I love a lot as an incoming rookie tight end. He's going to be force-fed and brought along in a similar fashion to what Watson experienced last year. Not quite the same, because Aaron Rodgers is a fast-track specialist, but Luke Musgrave will get involved. He's a fantastic backup tight end in fantasy football 2023. Christian Watson, it would be extremely disappointing if this man did not catch 1,300 yards plus, 80 receptions plus, 8 plus touchdowns through the air, 1, 2, or 3 on the ground. Really, I would be disappointed in myself if he didn't pull in at least 10 total touchdowns, the 1,300 yards and the 80 receptions. I'll be disappointed in myself. I will be embarrassed if he doesn't do that. That's how confident I am in this guy. And let me leave you with this. If we take all the numbers, the data that I've been pretty much presenting the entire time, this is not a gut-driven take right here. I'm giving you a ton of information. And even this right here alone, where he pulled in 313 receiving yards in a 4-game window, which would be 1,330 yards if you extrapolate it. That yardage being extrapolated is not crazy at all. 107, 48, 110. He could easily average 80 yards a game. But the touchdown production is the crazy part. If you take his rushing touchdown that he had in week 13, you add it to his 7 touchdowns that he pulled in here in weeks 10 through 13. This monster line right here of 4 games in a row. Not, hey, let's pick his top 4 games out of the season. 4 games in a row, which you cannot trip and fall into. You can be a week 1 wonder, have 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then not do anything the rest of the year. You cannot have 4 games in a row like this and be a one-off, an outlier. This right here is very telling. If I ignored everything else I was talking about, pretend I didn't say a single thing about any of the other things, the third and fourth quarter passing, constant target share heading his way, liking Jordan Love, the fast tracking of Aaron Rodgers, putting him in a very good position walking into 2023, being very intelligent and far along for his sophomore year. If you ignore everything that I said and you just look at this 4-game window, this 4-game window should tell you that he's going to be a star, because you cannot do this in 4 games in a row if you don't have the makings of being an elite wide receiver. He was on pace, if you include that rushing touchdown, for 34 total touchdowns. I'm not saying he's going to do anything close to that. I'm not going to even suggest he get half of that 17. I'm just telling you that he created a pattern through 4 games that no one else in the NFL created. No one else was on pace for 1,300 yards and 34 touchdowns total through 4 games, 4 consecutive games. This guy did something amazing. And if you ignore everything I said, this entire video, this part alone, his ability to do what he did in that 4-game time frame should at least give you the confidence that he has the ability to be a guy that can pull in double-digit total touchdowns, 80 to 90 receptions, and easily 80 yards a game, which would put him at 1,360 yards. This is one of the easiest calls I think one can make. And on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty, where Underdog will match up to $100 on your first deposit. Link is in the description of this video and every video. On Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty, the higher low line on Christian Watson is 850.5 receiving yards, meaning if you select the higher and he gets 851 yards, you win that. That is one of the most unbelievable lines I have ever seen in my life. 850.5 higher. Give it to me all day long. I can't tell you how many versions of this I'm going to do in 4 and 5 pick'em 20 times multiplier tickets. 850.5 yards. He can do that in half a season. And they took away Trevor Lawrence's passing touchdown line. It was at 26.5. Now it's gone. They only have his yardage line. They realized that one was crazy. They took it down. They had a line, 26.5 passing touchdowns. We smashed it all day yesterday, and now it's gone. So make sure you get in before they take away Christian Watson's, or Drake London's got about a 850 yardage number. Christian Watson's got a 850. Don't let what happened to Trevor Lawrence, where they take away the 26.5 touchdown line. Don't let that happen to Christian Watson. Don't let it happen to Jahmyr Gibbs. They got a 580 yard line rushing for Jahmyr Gibbs. All of that can be done at Underdog Fantasy using promo code Smitty, or the link in the description of this video or every video, or just use code Smitty and they'll get you up to $100 bonus match, dollar for dollar on your first deposit. The minimum's $10, so if you do $10, they'll give you $10. If you do 50, they'll give you 50 if you're new to Underdog using that code Smitty or the link which inserts the code for you. So go get after this. Go get that Christian Watson 850.5 before it goes away. Now get out of here.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Take a lap.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got another migraine today, so you're going to have to bear with me. I apologize for having to wear the sunglasses at night. I know everybody, somehow, some way, a very funny Philip out there comes in with this, Smitty, why you got your sunglasses on? These are blue light blocking glasses, okay? And they also, the sunglasses also help with all the lights. You don't understand the amount of lighting I have in here and the LEDs that give you headaches. So, you know what else gives me a headache? When I see Christian Watson getting doubted in comments left and right. That gives me almost near the same kind of headache. And honestly, though, it makes me smile at the same time. Doubters equal value. Doubting equals value. We need enough doubters of Christian Watson in order for him to continue to be a moon man, right? We don't want Watson climbing into the top of round 3. We don't want Watson living in the 3.5 territory very much at all. We want this guy at the 3-4 turn. We want this guy and Gibbs at the same location. When we're sitting here in a draft and we're at the 3-4 turn and we're looking at a Christian Watson and a Jahmyr Gibbs right here. Let me see if I can grab, there's Watson. Watson and Gibbs and Watson. When you're at this 3-4 turn, this is a magnificent duo to get your hands on here. Christian Watson 3-4 turn, Gibbs 3-4 turn, maybe Joseph Cigar Smoking Burrow at the 3-4 turn. And I know this is a Watson video, but I kind of love this as well. Let me move this over. Where did Gibbs go? There you are, Gibbs. Gibbs and Burrow at the 3-4 turn. We clean up all day long in fantasy drafts. Our community knows what time it is. Our community is going to the moon.
To the moon.
And for people that want to clown on the Watson take, the lazy Lewis, and the worried William, the petrified Peter, the conservative Caleb that can't stand bull predicting, Smitty, what's Watson done? Rewatch the video, Philip. What's Watson done, Smitty? Is Watson good? I don't understand why you like Watson so much, Smitty. What's he proven so far? Rewatch the video, Caleb. I don't need to explain it to you over and over. My entire intro explains it for you. Christian Watson's heading to the moon. His 4-game stretch is not something you can trip and fall into. You can't be on pace for 34 touchdowns in a 4-game stretch. A 4-game stretch and not be special. No one's expecting 34 touchdowns. No one's expecting half of that on the season. We're not morons, Caleb. We're not morons. But what we are astute, looking into the future, fantasy football magicians. And right now, I think this guy might be a unicorn. Do you guys agree? Are we potentially looking at a unicorn here? I think we are.
He is a unicorn.
Stock on the rise.
A unicorn whose stock is on the rise. A unicorn is among us, and his name is Christian Watson. And I anoint you all, knights of the Watson Roundtable, if you are on board this train. Nobody's getting on later. I'm not allowing it. I'm taking away your Christian Watson card. Just like I've taken away a lot of your Bijan cards out there. You negative Bijan haters. Anybody that's negative on Bijan Robinson, anybody that's come in here and said stupid things like this guy plays for the Falcons, we've taken your Bijan card away and you no longer are allowed to have one.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
Revoked. We're revoking Bijan cards left and right. We're revoking Christian Watson cards left and right. It's how Dad did it. It's how we're doing it. Buckle up, get ready. Christian Watson, Knights of the Round Table, get ready to rumble. It is 2023 fantasy football breakout season, baby. There's a reason this man is on the Moon Men list.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Look at him. Look at him.
Space monsters.
Space monsters, indeed. Look at him. Look at the space monster list right here. This is a magnificent Moon Men list. Remember the crazy Caleb that came in here that one day and said, hey, Smitty. I forget when he came in and said it, but he came in I don't know, it was like 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, and he said, Smitty, this list right here, I like the Moon Men list last year, Smitty. I liked the Moon Men list last year. It worked out pretty well. This year's Moon Men list looks like a bunch of stashes. Remember when he came in and said that worried William that came in here and said that? This looks like a magnificent board of glory when I look around at it. I mean, look at this. I organized it differently if anybody hasn't noticed. The running backs are in one row. The wide receivers are in one row. And, of course, I had to do a little bit of moving around because we had another wide receiver, Tank Dell, but he's like the outlier. He's like the reach of all reaches. He's the guy on here that doesn't belong because he's kind of the most unknown of the group. So it makes sense he's in the corner by himself to identify that this guy is different than the others. This guy wins you a league and loses you nothing if he busts. Tank Dell, wide receiver 3 season, is in order. But Tony, Dotson, Pickens, London, Watson, Olave, Wilson, the year of the sophomore wide receiver, Kincaid, Pitts, Fields, and T-Law going to the moon. Bijan, Gibbs, Pollard, Hall, Swift, Walker, Charbonnet, and then if that wasn't enough, some of these guys, and then of course Burrow and Chase being added to the Marsmen list early in the year. The Marsmen list looks like a list of soldiers that are going to march you into first place immediately.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars men.
Look at these masters of their domain.
Loads dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
1,300, 1,400-yard wide receiver Chris Olave. 1,300 to 1,400-yard rusher rookie running back. 12-plus touchdown machine Bijan Robinson. Burrow and Chase unbelievable stack of all stacks. Wilson, Breece Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs. There isn't a greater Marsmen list I can think of. I can't think of a better list than that. And I can't think of a better guy to talk about today than this guy, Christian Watson. Again, you are a knight of the Christian Watson Roundtable if you're on board today. Today is the last day I allow anyone to get on board, and I'm going to have, similar to my taking away of Bijan cards,
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
we will take away anyone's Watson card. If you're not on board today, today's the only day I'm allowing any final entries onto the train. I'm not even letting you on the caboose at the very back of the train if you decide to get on tomorrow. This is it. The final call, the last call to get in. And let me also just tell you guys right now, that Trevor Lawrence line is gone. That 26.5 touchdown line for higher or lower, that is gone. Underdog removed it. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Use this code. Use the link in the description of the video or the link I'm about to drop in the live chat right now, and I'm going to pin it. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit, so use your first deposit decision wisely because they'll match it. So if you put in 10, they'll give you 10. If you put in 100, they'll give you 100. They'll match up to $100. There's so many over-unders that we absolutely love, and I can't get enough of the Christian Watson 850-yard line. Above, give me the higher on that. The 500 and I think 80 yardage on the ground rushing line for Jahmyr Gibbs. They took that away. They took it away. They already took it away. You can't get Gibbs anymore at 580. They realized they made a big mistake. They were watching Smitty and they said, holy crap, we probably sent so many people to bet on that, or to drop a higher on that pick'em of 580 yards rushing. They removed it. We sent everybody to Underdog to do the higher on the pick'em of Trevor Lawrence, 26.5 touchdowns. They removed it immediately. And now they still have, but for a very limited time, I pretty much guarantee you this is going away. 850-yard line higher for Watson or lower. You're obviously picking the higher. Drake London's about 850. Go do it now. Links in the description. Do it live. Get her done. Phone lines are open. Let's go.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
I just drafted Chase, Mahomes, Lave, and Gibbs in the first 4 picks. You did absolutely phenomenal.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Nice work, broski. Nice work, Way. You did good. Fields' line is gone too. They're removing them left and right. We sent a lot of people over there yesterday to go drop the higher on about 10, 15 of those. I'm surprised London's 850 still there. 850 yardage receiving, higher low. The Watson 850, I'm surprised is still there. The Breece Hall 6.5, I think, touchdowns and 850 rushing yards is still there. Unreal. Ninja's on the line. Ninja and Marsman rock out. Marsman rock out. Let's go to Marsman rock out first because he is a Marsman, for goodness sakes. And that's part of the point of the card. Rock out. What can I do for you? There's one There's one rock out. We're counting the times you say
I was trying to get a rhyme in.
God, my head's pounding. Rock out. What can I help you with? Got a migraine.
Did you see my Instagram?
No.
Message?
I did not see. Spit it out, rock out. Spit it out, rock out. What are we talking about here?
I'll go check my DM.
Okay, I'll try and check it as quickly as I can. Ninja, what do you have? You're live.
Hey, what's up, Smitty? I just want to say good call on that Trevor Lawrence underdog play.
Yeah.
I smashed that like at least 3 different times.
Attaboy. Attaboy.
Just yesterday, and then calling the Gibbs and Watson overs as well. Like, you're totally right on it, man.
It's baked in. Bro, I'm really disappointed in myself. I didn't think they'd take it away so quickly. I did like 5 of them, but I wish I would have dropped. I didn't get to drop on the. I told you I was going to drop like $200 or $300 on the 26.5 over on Trevor Lawrence passing touchdowns. I didn't get it in time. I got like I said, a handful of the $5, $10, $20, 5
Right.
higher, low, tickets where you put all 5 of them, 20 multiplier. So like $10 gets you 200, 20 gets you 400. I did at least, I want to say at least 6 of those that included Trevor Lawrence in there, but I didn't get it in time. But I will say Watson 850 yards might even be an easier play. The higher on 850 than the Trevor Lawrence. Because 850, he could get this in half a season. I'm not saying he will, but he could.
He'll get that in the first 7 weeks of the season.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna drop like $200 or $400 on the Watson over. I don't recommend other people do that if you don't have the money. Don't ever play with money you don't have to throw at that stuff. This is you got to have the ability to do it and not be careful, be responsible, But if you want to know what we're talking about, Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. The link is pinned in the live chat. The link is in the description of every video. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. So if you deposit $100, they'll give you $100. The minimum's $10. So if you want to just play with $10, click the link, use code Smitty. The link puts code Smitty in there for you. Do $10. They'll give you $10. Then you'll have $20. And you can get into a couple $5 puppy drafts that we do every single Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and today's Friday. Is it not? I don't know what day it is. Today's Friday, right? Today's Friday.
Yeah.
I don't know what day it is. I rely on you guys to tell me. Friday. Today's Friday, which means we do Underdog Fantasy drafting tonight, live drafts. They're $5 to get into the puppies. The prizes are unbelievable. You can win, 100 over. What's the prize on the Underdog puppy? It's 150,000 for first place. Let's see here.
$1 million, I think.
No, Puppy 2. That's the Best Ball Mania is in the millions.
That's 150.
Yeah, Puppy 2 is, let's see here. Puppy 2 is $150,000 to first place, but you get $10K if you're first in total points through weeks 1 through 14, which is such an amazing way to send out prizes. Like give a regular season prize, I recommend everybody do that in their own fantasy league. If you want to spice things up, give a certain third place prize to the weeks 1 through 14 total point winner. There's nothing more glorious than winning all of those in one swoop too. Because if you're the best team in your league, and you're going to be the team that probably scores the most points in weeks 1 through 14. But sometimes you trip and fall, and that's kind of the fun of it, to lose in the Super Bowl or beat somebody that was ranked higher than you in the Super Bowl. So I'm not saying take away the Super Bowl prize or first place, but if you incorporate the weeks 1 through 14 winner on top of the Super Bowl winner, it just amplifies the winning team if they're really the best team in the league, and gives them that prize and the Super Bowl winning prize. But it also allows somebody to trip and fall at the end and still get rewarded for the hard work they put in weeks 1 through 14. I love that Underdog's doing that. So $10,000. The puppies we draft tonight, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We always draft. It's a marathon weekend, essentially. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, midnight Eastern, here on the YouTube channel. We go into the draft together, but you need to click that link. You need to click that link in the live chat and in the description of every video, or use code Smitty. Sign up ahead of time or you won't get in time. But guys, probably my favorite line on the Underdog Fantasy high or low pick'em feature is Christian Watson 850. London 850 is phenomenal as well. Breece Hall 5.5 rushing touchdowns, I think it is. Link in description, pinned in the live chat. Go smash that. Breece Hall's 850 yards. Let's plug in. Let's plug in and look at it real quickly and check some of these out, because they are glorious. This is glory. What we're talking about is nothing short of glory right here. Let me hold on one second, guys. Hold on, callers. Just hang tight for me while we go through just a couple of these. Here it is, right in front of your face. When you get to the lobby on the Underdog app. Let's see. It's not showing it right now. Hold on. I might have to restart my computer before I can show this again. Gosh dang it, man. Well, good I tried this tonight. Let me screenshot a couple of these I did a couple of these high lows, and I just can't believe this one right here. Joe Burrow. Let me screenshot a couple of these and put them. And I did a bunch of these. Like I just cranked through $5, $10. You don't have to do something crazy. You can do a $5, which gets you $100 if you land all 5 of them. And landing 5 higher lows on one ticket is very hard. But my whole thing is it's not hard right now with these lines on these season stats. And they're starting to take away anything that's like questionable, that's very, very easy to see coming. And so you got to prepare for a lot of these to vanish. And I don't want everybody to get screwed out of not being able to take advantage of some of these early high lows that will vanish, like Jahmyr Gibbs' 580 rushing yards, like Trevor Lawrence 26.5 passing touchdowns. Those vanished with the wind, and we'll never see them again. And anybody that took advantage last night of the link that's pinned in the live chat, that's in the description of every video, you probably made out like a bandit, and you're just licking your chops, waiting for the end of the season. Look at these right here. Barkley, this one's still up. I don't know why this is there. Someone can explain to me why this is there, and I'll give you a to the moon hauler right here.
To the moon.
Somebody explain to me why this is even here. Saquon Barkley, 975 rushing yards. Can someone explain that to me? How does that make sense at all? How does he not crush 975 rushing yards?
Easily.
Can anybody tell me why that's not maybe the best one on the whole lot? Like, maybe I'm selling him short. That is 57 yards per game. That is 57 yards per game. I will say that all these players, every player in the NFL has injury risk. So whenever you do the over, you're running the risk of smashing all 4 of these on one of these tickets, and then one guy gets hurt and you get screwed. So the insurance is kind of cool. There's an insurance toggle. You click that, and then if you get all of them but one, you'll get half the money. But you don't. You limit your upside, and it takes, like, even if you get all 5, you'll still get half of that money. So it's kind of like you do $5 to win 50, but it's still fun to do. But Chris Olave 1065, he's gonna smash that. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 10-10. He's going to smash 10-10. He's going to get 1,011 yards. This is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Can you imagine how pissed this guy is right here? If he found out about this line, Amon-Ra wouldn't let it go. He'd get a tattoo, 10-11. 1,011 yards on his arm if he found out this line was existing. Saquon Barkley, 975. This is crazy. Drake London, 850 yards. He's going to smash 850 yards. Isaiah Pacheco, 815 rushing yards. I mean, I could see him getting hurt or something because he's so aggressive, but that's a great number. Look at this one. I did this one. This one's, again, I did like 20 versions of these $5 ones, just kind of mixing the players up a little bit. You know, that way I'm covering my bases if someone gets hurt. Jahan Dotson, 800 yards. Garrett Wilson, 1125. Like, that was one of the higher numbers that I still think he'll crush, but it was like, at least it's somewhat respectable, but he's still going to smash it. 1125. Christian Watson, the 850.5. London, the 850. Calvin Ridley was surprisingly low at 850. Calvin Ridley is going to get 851 yards if he stays healthy. That is an absolute just crush.
Smitty, do they still have Jalen Hurts' passing over-under?
They do have his touchdowns right here. Look, I just did it. I did this one right before I went live. Joe Burrow, 33.5 passing TDs. Breece Hall, 850.5 rushing yards. There's also like a 5.5 touchdown. I think they moved it to 6.5 on Breece Hall. They already moved it. You got to think about this. The more people like rush in to do it, like we sent so many people to rush in and do the higher on Trevor Lawrence's 26.5 passing touchdowns. They either move the line immediately because if they get a rush of people doing it, they think, oh, God, we got to get on the other side of this line. So they move the line, right? And they get more people on both sides. That way, that's the point of a line. The line moves in the middle to try and get an equal number of people on both sides. And that way there's no risk. And then they just take that rake. And then they break even and take the rake. So the line will move in anything, in Vegas, wherever, the line moves based on where it can get the equal amount of people on both sides. So you can expect this 33.5 to move to 34.5, 35.5 as more people smash it. And Breece Hall, I think his touchdowns was 5.5, moved to I think like 6 or 6.5. So I took the yardage here. Bijan Robinson, 1075. Smash it, people. He's going to crush 1075. This could be the leading rusher in the entire National Football League right here, Bijan Robinson. He could rush for 1350, 1450. 1075 is nothing. And Jalen Hurts, 22.5 passing touchdowns. He threw 22 last year. In a growing year. He's going to smash that. Amon-Ra, 1010. Again, these are all unbelievable. Okay, I'm sorry. Hang tight. Let's go over to Living Legend. Living Legend, you're live. What would you like to talk about? Watson, some lines, over under.
I need the dark horses, man. I need like the late round gem people that I would need to get like in my league. You know, like not like the last 2 rounds, but you know, like maybe like the real lower mid rounds, like some gem guys that you had your eyes on that maybe I might need to try to look out for.
I'm gonna spit some out at you. Ready? You ready to write it down? McKinnon. Jerick McKinnon, smash it. Deuce Vaughn, final round, smash. Tank Dell, Nathaniel Dell is how you look him up. Nathaniel Dell, absolute wide receiver gem in the 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 round range. Just a gem. Dalton Kincaid, double-digit round tight end that you will draft as your backup tight end and have him come slinging into your lineup. Slinging it, winging it, doing amazing things in like weeks 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like, don't give up on him. Because he's going to be the slot wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills, and he's a tight end. And he's going to create controversy. This guy should be, you're going to have worried, angry Angus and upset Unger coming into your live chat room in your league management app going, hey, this is angry Angus. This is unfair that Dalton Kincaid is Living Legends tight end 1 when he plays wide receiver. Is there a way we can petition ESPN and Sleeper and all these apps to remove his tight end eligibility? Because it's just not fair. Because he's playing wide receiver, and I'm a upset Unger. I would say Jordan Love, double-digit round quarterback. Sam Howell, end of your draft quarterback. I would say I also love McBride, Vikings. Running back, rookie, fumbleitis guy, but tons of talent. He could climb in. Alexander Madison. I mean, we'll see how he holds up, etc., etc. Oh, we got a $20 hauler. Hold on. We got a special little $20 hauler presentation for you.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Bama getting the first ever paper bag dump of money on Smitty's head with a $20 hauler. With the money machine burned out. It's my brother made it into a flux capacitor component gigawatt timekeeper, and it burned the motor out immediately. It comes with lighting and everything. This thing was glory, absolute insanity. And it burned out immediately. So we're on to new and bigger, better things. I'm tired of trying to create some kind of money gun machine that just burns out the amount of times we use it. So we're on to different things. I thought about bucket, paper bag dump. Here you go. Eventually, I'm going to put like a net above me with money. And if someone drops 100 or more, I'm going to pull the string and the whole thing's going to rain down. Something to that degree. So Bama says, sorry I'm late, but I'm here now, says Bama to the moon.
To the moon.
Okay, who was I talking to and what were we even saying?
Yeah, it was me, Smitty.
Okay, what's up?
Yeah, no, he was giving me the late round people. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Bro, cringe. What's cringe? What happened? What happened, D-Class? What's cringe? Did I do something cringe? What's he talking about? It's my boy D-Class. I don't know what he's saying. Okay. Cook is going to Miami and will be huge in fantasy. Very well could be, Jared. I don't know. if he'll be great right away. I think once the running back room is injured, and Cook has trouble staying healthy himself, but once that running back room's injured and he has the lone job, I think he could explode in Miami. Absolutely explode. And so I will be getting him 100%. 100%. But it does matter. What's cringe is you drafting Watson. What a wasted pick. What's funny is when we see a hating Hayden that comes in, or a complaining Cameron that comes in, and it's someone we've never seen before. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like a regular viewer or watcher or regular commenter. It's just some random person that, I don't know, is a Green Bay fan or anti-fan. Hates Green Bay for whatever reason. But right here, what's cringe is you drafting Watson. What a wasted pick. I'd absolutely destroy you in fantasy, no question. Okay. Then why you watching? Why you watching, Cameron? Why are you here watching my show? Why are you what are you doing here? Read the room, Cameron. I don't know where. Yeah. Anyway. What's funny is, that's what D-Class was saying. You're cringe. Oh, maybe that's what D-Class was saying. I don't know what D-Class was saying. D-Class is my guy. But what's so funny is the phrase, no haters ever doing better than you. It's like, Cameron, there's the only reason Cameron's hating is because Cameron, there's something about this show he actually loves. And Cameron, I would bro fist it out with you, bro. Handshake and bring you into the circle and have you be an elite member of this crew. I can forgive and forget. I've got thick skin. I'm gonna believe in you, Cameron. I'm gonna believe that you eventually come around and you're actually a supporter of the show. I've got to think positively. I think it's the only way to think. But I appreciate you, Cameron. I want you to know that. As much as you think I'm cringe because I like Christian Watson, we need enough Christian Watson doubt to keep his ADP at bay. So I'm going to extend my paw to you and say, handshake, bro fist, I want you to be a part of this community, and I want to turn you into a believer. So you hang tight, keep watching from a distance. You gotta throw a hater comment in once in a while. I don't mind it. I'm not blocking you. I want you to be able to enjoy the show. Cameron, appreciate you. Take a lap, but I appreciate you. Okay, who is somebody just called in? Ninja, you've talked a little bit, right? I'll come back to you.
Yeah, I got to say my piece, man. I'll jump off and let
you don't have to.
callers
You don't have to jump. You don't have to jump off. I've 15, 20
okay.
people on the line before, so you just hang tight. Let's go on. Drop whenever you need to. If you got to hang up, just hang up. No problem. Let's go over to Mars Man. Oh no, let's go over to the Bruce. Hold on. The Bruce is loose on the line right now. Brucey, we appreciate you. You are a legend here, Bruce. You've been here from the beginning. And for people that don't know who the Bruce is, shame on you, first of all.
The Bruce is loose.
Second of all, his mother is one of our favorite people here on the show. She is the voice of... Baked In Boys. She is the voice of Baked In Boys. Get Lambed. Where's my get...
Get lambed.
Your mom is a hero, a legend, an absolute just marvel. So we appreciate you and your mother. We love your mother to call into the show sometime, or you could hand the phone over to her and she could just say, get Jefferson, or how about a get Watson? Go get Christian Watson, will you? Can I get something like that, Bruce?
All right, soon when she's home and I'm home.
Okay. What can I do for you, Brucey?
All right, so we're talking about McBride as the handcuff. What about Ty Chandler?
Ty Chandler, very interesting. We got another $20 gifted membership from Bama right now. $20 gifted membership.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert.
Appreciate Bama dropping the 20 watt on screen. Ty Chandler is very interesting, Brucey, but I think McBride's probably the guy I'd bank on. I'm not saying that it feels like a lock in terms of picking and identifying the cuff, the true cuff. Sometimes, Brucey, we got to think ahead of the curve and cuff the guy we eventually think will be the guy. You know what I mean? Sometimes we could cuff Ty Chandler, who's probably on paper the backup to Madison. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I do believe we're probably smarter to cuff McBride long term and hope that that works out. By the time they need the player in there, that McBride will have climbed up. Thomas says he dropped a super chat that I missed. Thomas, I'm sorry. Let me look for super chats real quickly. Let me go over all the super chats from the top. Salty Chopper dropped in and said, let's get it going when we dropped the live stream from the beginning. D-Class came in and said, thank you for your over-under content yesterday. Secured the bag, boys. And now he's talking about the Gibbs 580 yards that Underdog removed today. We cleaned up on that last night. The Trevor Lawrence 26.5 touchdowns over. We cleaned up on that last night. And Watson 850 is going to get removed, I think, before the end of the week. Maybe the end of the day. So use that link pinned in the live chat. Use code Smitty and go drop an over on 850.5. 856 yards. Or no, 851 yards is all you need him to get that over. Appreciate you, D-Class. Thomas dropped a $5 hauler to the moon for me being late.
To the moon.
Thomas to the moon. Thomas says, yo, Smitty, I'm on the Watson train 100%. That's cringe, Thomas, according to our hater of the day. That is cringe for you to be on the Watson train. Okay, apparently we're cringy. I appreciate you being on board. Just asking, I know Jordan Love loves Romeo Dobbs. Not worried about Dobbs at all. Love the show. Watson to the moon. I'm not worried about Dobbs because I don't think Dobbs takes away from Jordan Love. I'm sorry, from Watson enough. I'm not concerned about it enough. I think that could maybe there be some sort of flip and Dobbs becomes the better target. It's always possible. But I don't know that it worries me or concerns me. Like, is there enough to go around for Dobbs to be efficient? Sure, there is, because Love's going to throw a lot. I think people just assume Love's is going to be Ritter. I think Love will be better than Ritter, and I like Ritter more than most people. I don't love Ritter, but I think Ritter could be Jared Goff-like. I think Jordan Love could be a very decent, like 8, 9, 10, 11 overall fantasy football quarterback. I'm not saying he's locked in there. I'd take him outside the top 12. He's my backup quarterback. I'll never draft Jordan Love to start for me unless I draft like Anthony Richardson and Love in a best ball. I do expect maybe Love to compete with Richardson early on each week, but Richardson to eventually ball out. That's the only time I'd take Love as my starter after I draft Anthony Richardson and then draft Love to start ahead of him, but I'm drafting Love after him until Richardson climbs above him, like that kind of situation. But Dobbs doesn't concern me. Watson's, he's so mature, bro. But anything could happen. Bama dropping that $20 hauler. Appreciate you dropping that on the way in the door. Sorry about being late to that super chat there, Thomas. You're the man. And looks like Melvin Torres has been a YouTube exclusive member for over 9 months now. Appreciate Melvin. We had all those renewals come rolling in. Bama gifting. We got all these gifts going on. Bama dropping the super chat. We've got the Ryan's been a member for 8 months. The Ryan said you can add the Butler over 0.5. Oh yeah. On Underdog Fantasy, there's a free over. So what he's saying is, and this is a great point. Thank you so much for remembering to say this. You know how on Underdog Fantasy you can essentially pick 5 overs, right? Or hires, 5 hires on one ticket. And if you land all 5, you get 20 times the multiplier. There's a freebie. Butler dropping, all he has to do is score 1 point in this next game. What is it today? Is today the championship or the finals game, or game 3? Is it game 3 today? Game 4? Game 4, right? Game 4 today. Is it today? Is anybody watching the basketball game tonight? It's tonight, right?
Yeah, game 4.
Yeah, game 4 tonight. Butler just has to score 1 point, so you'll get a victory. If he scores 1 point, you'll get a victory on one of your 5 predictions, and that makes your prediction, your contest, your ticket of winning 4 out of 5 that much easier. to land. But it'll be a ticket that you're waiting a long time to actually see it play out, because you'll get Butler tonight. He'll score 1 point. You'll win that part of that 5 prediction. So go drop that. Excellent point to make, the Ryan. Appreciate the Ryan dropping that. Appreciate everybody who's been a YouTube exclusive member for as long as they've been. And Torres's question here, he's celebrating 9 months as a YouTube member, says, time goes fast already, 9 months. Just love your content and everything you do. To the moon, Melvin. Melvin, you are a magnificent follower, and I'm very, very blessed to have you here. Blake dropping a $20.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 hauler from Blake. Dropping the wad on the screen. Smitty, who's your dealer? Ain't no way I'm picking Watson for a top 10 next year. Love you, Blake. Sincerely, Blake. Who's my dealer? Bro, my dealer is up in my noggin. And I go to the mountaintop to get my vision. And my vision was abundantly clear back in, I believe, January, when I went to the mountaintop. And I said, show me the sign. Show me the player. Show me the wide receiver that is going to smash the 850 over on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Link in live chat, link in description. Blake, it's okay. I can't tell you how many times we've had a comment like this, especially from somebody that we love like Blake. We gotta have enough people on the anti side of this to keep the ADP low. But I could have put top 6 to 10 in the graphic in the thumbnail, and I didn't. I put top 10, and it's still making some people really uncomfortable, which is so head scratching to me. You know, Blake says, that's not me. Remember, this Blake is not me. Okay. I look, Blake, it's not for everybody. Predicting what is to come isn't the easiest thing to do, and predicting what is to come is going to make a lot of people uncomfortable. But top 10, I mean, he could be top 6 to 10. Top 10 is that's light work. That's very light work. Appreciate you. Okay, but where's the kind of hype for DJ Moore? Why Watson over him? Not that I'm taking DJ, but Moore is not only more proven, but on an offense even Smitty thinks will be way better. So you do watch my content, Cameron. Cameron knows a little bit about the show and a little bit about my predictions, despite being anti-Smitty. I do like DJ Moore. Not everybody can make the Moon Man list, Cameron. And a lot of people see DJ Moore coming. And I don't necessarily think DJ Moore is going to have, just because Fields and the Bears are going to explode, doesn't mean that DJ Moore is going to go out and have 1,500 yards and 14 touchdowns. Christian Watson is capable of 1,500 total yards because he'll run for 100 to 200 yards. He'll score 1 to 3 rushing touchdowns. They use this guy on sweeps and throw negative yard passes to him that he takes 15, 16 yards to the house. He'll score 2 or 3 rushing touchdowns, even if 1 or 2 of those are actually throws, but behind the line of scrimmage, behind the quarterback, so that it actually gets counted as a run, like Deebo Samuel. A lot of Deebo Samuel stats during his big rushing year. Those are a lot of passes from Jimmy G, who didn't want the football. It said, Deebo, here, take it, snap the ball. Oh my God, where's Deebo? Deebo, take the ball. Deebo took the ball from behind the quarterback, ran it in for a touchdown instead of it being considered a reception. This guy will score over 1,500 total yards for you. He'll score 10 plus touchdowns total for you. He'll get probably at a minimum 80 receptions. And I'm going to be embarrassed of myself if that's all he does. I'm going to take that paper bag that I just dumped over my head and put it over my head and say I'm ashamed of myself because Watson didn't do what I predicted. Cameron, the other thing I don't understand is why does it bother you so much that we disagree on a player? Like, why is my belief in Watson bothers you so much to where you think you know more than me about it? And if you said I like Dobbs, Smitty, to become the guy. Or, hey, Smitty, I like DJ Moore to be better than Watson. I expect DJ Moore, Smitty, to do what you're saying Watson's going to do. You know what I'd say to you, Cameron? That's awesome, bro. That's a really cool take, and I appreciate it. You see the difference between your angle and my angle? I don't think you're crazy, and I don't think I have the ability to call you wrong when things haven't played out. But for some reason, you have the Gray's Book Sports Almanac in front of you, and you think I am 100% wrong, and you can prove it to everybody that Watson's not going to be what I say he's going to be. Why does it bother you so much? Why do you restrict others of being able, in your mind, you don't actually restrict anybody of anything, but why in your mind does it make you so angry to call someone out as being already wrong when they're talking about a player that had a 34 touchdown pace within 4 games and looked like a marvel on the field with Aaron Rodgers getting fast-tracked to the point where he's going to go out there and hold Jordan Love's hand and make Jordan do the same thing Aaron Rodgers did for him for Jordan Love. Make Jordan Love look good. Why can't someone have that vantage point in your mind, Cameron? I don't really understand. I'll never understand why somebody can't be happy for someone else's prediction and just come in and try and tear it down. And let me tell you something, Cameron. I could care less. I'm still going to win you over. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Ryan dropping a $5 holler says, what round are you drafting Christian Watson in a 10-team league? Middle of 4 to 5th round material in a 10-teamer. You, in your grandma league, no offense. Super flex too. That's going to be 5 or 6. You're going to talk about 6th round in a super flex. And especially 10-team super flex. You're talking about 6th round. But here's what I want to say to Ryan. Ryan, don't take this offensively. Anybody playing in a 10-man league, you're playing with probably, I would guess, more grandmas than a 12-team league. Because very rarely can you find 10 really good people that want to play in a 10-man league. They all want to play in a 12. So this tells me you had trouble kind of getting the league back together over the years. You're scraping to get people. Am I right, Ryan? You're scraping to get people in the league or retain. You've got a cousin or a grandma or a mother or a father or a brother doesn't know what they're doing. This 10-man league, usually 10-man leagues do have a couple more grandmas or potential guys that don't literally come in practice or prep until the August. They have no, like in your 10-man league, I bet you anything, none of them know Christian Watson's going to explode. I bet you they don't think Drake London can be a top 10 wide receiver. I bet they don't understand how good Jahmyr Gibbs can be. I bet you get Jahmyr Gibbs a lot later than you should. And so 6th round territory in a grandma league, 10-man super flex, he'd be a 4th or 5th rounder in a 1 QB league. Knock him down another round and a half to 2 rounds at least in a Superflex 10-man league. You might even get him around 7. Like, make sure you use the suggested rank to not draft by, but to draft around, to manipulate. So thank you for the super chat, and definitely look at that as, especially stay focused and astute and on your toes regarding the ADP and suggested rank so that you don't take Watson earlier than you have to because you want to steal him away. Living Legend says $5 holler Smitty, Legend to the moon.
You've just been Smitty approved.
I'm approving Living Legend. Who's on the phone? Living Legend, thank you for super chatting. When someone super chats on the line, that just makes me smile. It makes me happy. Here's Living Legend on the line, already talking to me, getting advice, knows he can ask me whatever he wants, and he still drops a super chat. Living Legend, the floor is yours.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm enjoying the show, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I looked out for you, man. It's like,
He's sorry.
I'm enjoying the show, getting all this knowledge. You know what I mean? Because I do a lot of betting, too, so a lot of the knowledge I take from you, I use when I bet over and unders. That's why I watch your show, like, religiously, so you already know.
How many, appreciate you, by the way, and you don't have to apologize for super chatting. Living Legend, how many overs did you take advantage of on that Trevor Lawrence 26.5 touchdown line before it went away?
See, I didn't do no football betting yet. I'm still in the NBA Finals mindset right now. I got a lot of bets out there on the NBA Finals.
Fair point, Cameron. Yeah, fair point, Cameron. Appreciate you. I'm going to win Cameron over. Cameron's going to be one of the most avid followers of the channel within time. $2 hauler. In what round you taking Watson in a 14-team PPR? 14-teamer, he's going in round 3, assuming this isn't super flex. I mean, he's going in like the 3.5 to 4.5 on an underdog. But underdog drafters are a little ahead of the game. And I don't mean that to offend anybody that's like unable to draft on underdog. It's not in a state that you're in. But like when you're drafting with a bunch of sharks over and over and over, and you're not going to pull any fast ones, and people are going to elevate players quickly. And when you see Watson going enough and he starts climbing and climbing and climbing, you know that everybody knows that he's going to break out. And so you're not getting a steal anymore. You're getting a guy that could definitely earn, 30, I would say 40 to 45 overall value is where he's probably going on underdog on the regular. And that sucks because, you can get him in a regular redraft ESPN mock draft in like the 5th round. So it kind of depends, Melvin, where you're drafting. If you're on underdog, people know what time it is. And if you're drafting in a grandma league or whatever, even if it's a very competitive league, but it's guys that have jobs, they're working hard all off season, they can't listen to shows like this all off season, you're studying up more than they are, they're probably still unaware that Watson has 3.5 to 4.5 round value, somewhere in between that 40 and 45 overall value. They don't know. So I can't really answer this without saying that wherever you're drafting, that suggested rank on the app will guide you into not taking him too early, but you'll be lucky in a 14 team league to still get him in the 4th round. I'm sorry, I would say in the 4th round, you'd be lucky. 4.1 would be ideal in a 14 teamer. If you could get Gibbs and him back to back, smash it. Absolute smash it. Torres, appreciate you as always. You are absolutely amazing. Let me just make sure I've gotten all the super chats out of the way, and then I'm going to hit back to the phone line. We're going to go over to Marsman Rockout, who hasn't talked for a bit. Living Legend, thank you. We've got a super chat here from Ryan. We've got Blake, who dropped that $20 hauler. Appreciate you. Bama dropped that 20. Thomas dropped that $5 hauler D-class. And Salty Chopper dropping those wads at the beginning. And Ryan says, what round are you drafting C. Watson in a 10-team league? I got to that one, actually. Okay. What round for Pitts as well? I missed that question. I want to grab him at 3.2. You don't want to grab him at 3.2 unless it's a tight end premium. Yeah, 3.2 is way too early for Kyle Pitts unless it's a tight end premium. So I'm going to say no. He's got a 5th or 6th round ADP. If it's tight end premium, that's a little different story. So appreciate your super chats. Keep them rolling in. And as far as YouTube exclusive memberships and all that stuff, guys, if you want to become a YouTube exclusive member, appreciate all these celebration messages. Frake's been a member for 8 months, been here a while. Hit that like button, says Frake. Let me drop that on. I'm trying to do a much better job of noticing all of the celebratory messages that YouTube exclusive members get a chance to drop. So Frake, appreciate that one. Hung Like Hernandez dropped his celebratory message. Hung Like Hernandez says, and he's been celebrating his YouTube exclusive membership for 7 months. Man, I'm ready for week 1. Let's go. Appreciate that. Hung Like Hernandez dropping that. I think I'm caught up on the celebratory messages. I've got, I did Melvin's. I highlighted Melvin's. And now we got, I think, another super chat. We got Blake dropping it. Blake P dropping a $100 haul.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
Blake dropping fire. Now, Blake, this $100 super chat comes with a prediction on the $50 board above my head. So let's go ahead and zip on over to Blake's $100 hauler and see what Blake is predicting, because I think he might not have a prediction in here. Let's see. Blake says, my grandmother could sling that rock like O.J. Simpson slung in the 80s before Jordan Love can get Watson up to a top 10 by the end of 2024. I appreciate your passion, Blake, and if you want to make your $50 bull prediction an anti-Christian Watson prediction, you'll be one of the negative predictions on the board, which will be an interesting take because most of them are positive $50 predictions. So, Blake, please clarify your prediction for the board up above, and I would love to know what you want to make of that. But dropping the $100 hauler, please appreciate Blake P to the moon. You go, my man. Blake P in the building. Even being negative, he's a respectful, negative, anti-Christian Watson guy. He's not being negative to me. He's not saying you're an idiot. You're cringe. Like what's his name was doing? I forget his name already. But that's not necessary. You don't need to come in and call someone cringe. Look at Blake. Look how Blake P's being anti-Christian Watson in a very respectable way. I can't think of a more respectable way to be against me than to drop a $100 hauler. That's what I'm going to say. Blake dropping fire. Don't let Blake buy you, Smitty. He's lying. You mean he's investing in Christian Watson? I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that, but I appreciate Blake. I appreciate him. All right, let's get on over to the phone lines are open if anybody wants to dial in. Marsman Rock Out. What do you have to add?
Did you play a message?
Oh, yeah. Here. Rock Out left a voicemail.
I give you Wilson, Olave, Watson, London, Wolfpack emotion, dropping loads on your lineup, go and score TDs, and that's going to be a banger pack.
Thank you, Rock Out. Just an absolute, just magnificent little number there. Appreciate you as always. Rock Out is going to be ripped from us at some point. Some record deals coming in, swooping him up. So enjoy while you can. Rock Out dropping all that free music for us. Rock Out, appreciate you. Rock Out, what else are you thinking right now? Yeah, TMT says.
What do you think about Watson and Wilson and the Wolfpack? How far both are they from each other?
Wilson and who? Watson?
Like the whole Wolfpack.
Okay, so yeah, let's go over the Wolfpack if anybody wants to know. TNT says they took the field 6.5 rushing touchdown line off too. That was a very, very nice one. 6.5, 7 rushing touchdowns. He would have probably did that pretty easily. So I got my share of that in before they took it away. I'm telling you, the Watson one they're going to take away real quickly, and the Wolfpack. Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Drake London, and Christian Watson. This is the Quad Squad, the Burn Unit, the Wolfpack, the 4 amigos. I give you the 4
Best friends
that anybody could have. Wolfpack, and you don't need to draft all of them. And Pyram says they took down everything. Yeah, a lot of the big steals they've been taken down. So that's what I said. If London at 850 yards isn't tickling your fancy, I don't know what to tell you. If Watson at 850 yards isn't tickling your fancy, I don't know what to tell you. If I think it's like 10-10 for Olave, like 1,000 yards pretty much, right? That doesn't tickle your fancy. I don't know what can. And I think Wilson's right about 1,100 yards. Like, those are all amazing. But, again, Wolfpack, you don't have to draft all of these guys, but drafting 3 of them works really, really well. What I love doing with the Wolfpack is taking Wilson, Olave, and then taking Jahmyr Gibbs if you get like that. So, Wilson, you're going to take at like 11-12, right? So, you take Wilson at 11-12. You take Olave. I mean, you could take them early, but 13, 14, 15, so... sometimes you got to reach on one of these guys to do a Garrett Wilson Olave, but sometimes Garrett Wilson you'll take at 9, and then you'll take Olave at kind of high too. And then when you get to round 3, you're at the end of round 3, you take Gibbs, and then you take London or Watson in round 4, or you can go Joe Burrow. That's kind of the way I look at it. But Garrett Wilson's definitely a whole nother level than Watson. Like, Garrett Wilson could be the number 1, 2, or 3 wide receiver in fantasy football. Watson's a more likely 7 to 11 Marvel. A 7 to 11 wide receiver. A guy that could play like a low-end wide receiver 1 that you get, in that 10, 11, 12 territory. That's where you're going to rank him. And you're going to get him a lot later. You're going to get him a lot later. So, I think we got another $20 hauler. Hold on. No, we got another $100 hauler from Blake, just dropping straight fire on the channel.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
Blake dropping yet another $100 wad on the screen. Just taking over. Blake's taking over. Let's have the computer read this one here because Blake is just doubling down on his anti-Christian Watson takes.
Blake P. purchased $100 from Blake P. I overhear Smitty. Watson won't make top 50 until Jordan Love starts pumping that blue pill every night with that limp dick arm he's got. Couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with a tic-tac.
That is Blake's little $100 holler message. Just as anti-Christian Watson as it gets. And I love it. I love it. Blake, we need you. We need enough people doubting this guy. You know, doubting this guy with the blue pill. Let's do it. Okay. Where were we? What was I even talking about? Blake, appreciate you. Blake to the moon.
To the moon.
I mean, what can you say? Somebody dropping $100 haulers to be negative on Christian Watson. Blake is highlighting Christian Watson in a negative light, which is only going to help his ADP fall. Just keep it up. Blake, keep driving the value down. I absolutely love this guy, Blake. Just helping out Christian Watson owners everywhere. Love threw Watson a touchdown. I mean, that's in the intro of the video. Go watch the beginning of the show, and you'll hear where I discuss that too. I forget what we were talking about. Oscar, you're live.
Hey, what up, Smitty?
Hello. What's up, man?
Hello.
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 What can I do for you? What's up?
How's it going, Smitty?
I'm good, bro.
Hey, I came a little late to the show, but I wanted to share my four amigos.
Okay.
So I did get Amon-Ra St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, and Christian Watson. So
okay, so
a big believer of that Wolfpack.
St. Brown. Who?
Garrett Wilson.
Okay.
Chris Olave. And my boy Christian Watson.
Yeah. I mean, that works too. This is definitely, four best friends that anybody could have type of situation too. I mean, you can't complain about this little quad right there. I mean, that's great. I've done a lot of St. Brown instead of going Olave, but to get all three of St. Brown, G. Willie, and Olave, these are all top 10 wide receivers. And Watson's a set. We'll call Watson a 7 to 12, just to give everybody a little bit like Blake, give him a little bit more ability to maybe accept it. It sounds like he says he's not a top 50 player. I don't know if he's saying top 50 wide receiver or top 50 player, but he's going in the 40, like the 35-40 overall territory, which even if, let's say, he finishes number 50 out of all fantasy football players, like that's not losing you a league where you're drafting him. You're drafting him in the 40 to 45 territory. So the basically what Blake's saying is the risk is baked in. But to get all these, I mean, you're playing with grandmas, bro. Don't cap. Don't cap.
That is cap.
How many how many abuelas are in your league?
It's a 12 abuela team or 12-man team.
Yeah. So 11 abuelas in your league. There you go. 11 abuelas. Yeah. That's like taking candy. How do you say candy? Dulces from a baby.
There you go.
I'm gonna call the federale the veto federale.
King 25 code 428. Dispatch.
I mean, how did you steal that away? Can you walk me through where you drafted these guys? You got St. Brown in the first round. No, yeah, you had to have gotten St. Brown at what pick? At what pick did you get him?
So I I did some finagling. I actually had a top pick. I forget where it was, but I traded that first round pick for a second, third, and a fourth, and so that's how I was able to pretty much get all
That
of them.
yeah,
So
you got to trade up.
Wilson on the second.
Who are your running backs?
Olave in the third. I got Ramondre Stevenson and Najee Harris.
Bro, you should you should tell everybody. Does anybody want to make the entry fee a double? You know what one of my favorite things. You know what one of my favorite things to do is it kind of gives you extra skin in the game too. Is you find somebody that's cocky and arrogant in your league. There's always one or two of those guys. They run their mouth after the draft. They're like, "This is over." And if you think you're blasting those guys, in your league, just make a little side wager with them. Be like, about $50 me versus you. And then no matter how your season's going, you'll still be rooting for your team, setting your lineup. It's like it's like creating another little league inside your league. I do it with a buddy of mine. He's such a rival. Every year he'll bet me, $100, whatever I want. Like, especially if he thinks he had a great draft. He'll come out and go, "Oh, I'm just smoking you. You and your little show." When I draft with my buddies, none of them respect what I do. None of them even act like they know that I have a show. Like my buddies that I draft with in this long time, 20 plus years, they wouldn't even dare mention, "Oh, that you have a show." I don't know if they watch. They may watch in silence, but they treat me like a scum of the earth fantasy football like knowledge base. In the way, like, they just can't. I don't know if it's just the nature of it, like they don't want to. It's kind of like if you got a friend that I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like sometimes when a friend has a band, like the last thing in the world that friend can get is their buddies to support their band. That's the same way. So like this buddy, he'll say, "You and your little show. I don't know about how you like this guy." I told him I had Bijan on my top running back overall. His exact words were, "I want to punch you in the face," is what he told me. When I told him Bijan was my running back one, he said, "I want to punch you in the face right now." That's one of my best buddies, long time. He's like, what are you doing? Why are you telling your followers? You don't think that's a little extreme to be saying that Bijan, like, I could understand maybe you like him in the first round. And I'm like, wow, this guy hasn't been looking at mock drafts. He hasn't been doing a single thing. No heavy lifting the entire offseason. And this is the guy, my buddy, my best friend from long time, since we were 13 years old, 14 years old. I got on the wrong bus. I went the wrong way. I went to his house. That's how we became friends. This guy actually got me into fantasy because when I took the wrong bus home, that day when I was, I think, 14 years old. I think it was 14 years old. I took the wrong bus home, and I was a scared little Scotty because I'm in a neighborhood I don't know. I get off the bus. I go into this guy's house. He turns on Madden, and we simulate the season and draft fantasy teams and simulate a season. And whoever wins, we put in $5. Whoever wins got the pot. And then we do it again. It was the coolest thing in the world. Like if you were in March, April, May, June, and you didn't have no football was on TV. There's no fantasy football content creators. We go in, we put $5 down, we draft fantasy teams, and then we simulate the season on not Madden. It was Tecmo Bowl back then. It was Tecmo Bowl. We simulate Tecmo Bowl, and that's how I got into fantasy football. It's a true story. I got into fantasy football because of Tecmo Bowl. I didn't watch a single game of football until I was about 14 years old. I mean, I watched it. My dad would have it on. But I didn't watch it from that perspective. From 15 years older, that's when I was just I study it. I was a student of fantasy football from 15 years on. That's how I got in. But, yeah, I don't know how I got on that topic. But anyway. Oscar, hang tight. Let me go over to Lateral Nicholas. You're live.
Yo, Smitty, what's up?
Yo.
All right, so we're in a little predicament. So one of my leagues, I had scheduled my draft like months ago, or like a month ago, but I had to work that day, so I had to auto draft.
Oh,
so,
wait. You knowingly entered a league and let yourself auto draft.
I had to work. I had work that day, and I couldn't get off. Like I scheduled, I got into the league, and it was like a preset date. I couldn't get off work.
Did you at least like set rankings or something?
So.
Why did my phone line go away? Hold on, someone's saying, can you guys not hear the callers very well? Hold on real quickly, guys. Let me see if I can fix this. Apparently my phone lines are giving me fritz on the fritz again. Hold on. Okay. That should be working. Can you hear me okay? Who is this? Lateral Nicholas. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the phone lines are back. Did the phone lines just go out? Or have they been like that the whole show? I don't know. Okay, go ahead. So you didn't even set your rankings? You just went auto-drafted?
Yeah, I don't think I set rankings.
Man,
But,
that's such a bummer. You know, I'd almost be like, I can't do the
so-
league, though. You know, I can't do the league, guys. I'm sorry. If you can't set the draft where I can draft, I can't do the league. But hey, anyway, tell me your team.
Yeah, I joined like a. Okay, so it's a 2 flex and then a super flex, 3 wide receiver league.
2 flex.
So I have Daniel Jones, Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams.
This is a total auto. Oh my God, bro. Hold on.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I do have Austin Eckler and Saquon.
Okay. So you have Eckler.
So
Eckler.
Saquon.
You have like the worst
Mark
wide receiver.
Andrews.
You have the worst wide receiver room that I can imagine drafting at the cost of.
I know.
Keenan Allen.
I have
Mike Williams. You got Daniel
Yeah, it's
Jones
bad.
as your starter. Okay, so Eckler and Saquon are good like building blocks, I suppose, of trading. But go ahead.
Yeah, and then I have Mark Andrews, Tony Pollard,
Okay.
Aaron Jones, Miles Sanders. So I have a good running back room. I also have I picked up Dell, and then I also have Jameson Williams on the bench.
Okay. Here's what you do. To get this back into I could turn this team into a monster. I'm just telling you. So maybe you look at this season as a total like challenge to yourself to improve upon your trading game. Tell me these guys trade a little bit. Or do you not know?
I'm not sure. This is a public league.
Okay. Why didn't you
they're
couldn't you
already-
reschedule this one or cancel being in the league? Like, why didn't you just join another league that you could have drafted in? It's one league. You can join another league. So just whatever. It doesn't matter.
I know. I'm in a lot. I'm in different leagues.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is
So we're
one
just trying to
that's-
fix this one. Who's your second quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, I have Ryan Tannehill on the
Yeah.
bench.
So you don't have one.
So yeah, I need a
Yeah,
quarterback.
You cut him. Okay. Is Sam Howell available in this grandma league where they don't know what they're doing, but you couldn't take advantage because you weren't there? Is Sam Howell available?
I don't think so. I can double check.
Okay.
Desmond Ritter, but that's.
I would take Ritter over Tannehill. That's for sure. Yeah. So swap that
Yeah.
out. Okay. So we're gonna put Ritter in here. So my goal for you would be to try and get probably not going to get a Fields. You could try a Fields, a Burrow, a Trevor Lawrence using Daniel Jones. I feel like you could trade Aaron Jones and Daniel Jones to some grandma and pull that off. Maybe get a T-Law. Try it. If you can't get it, no problem. Devontae Adams. Check out what the Burrow, Fields, and T-Law owners have at wide receiver. See if there's some kind of crafty Olave or somebody that you could trick them into thinking they're getting Devontae Adams as an upgrade. If you could get rid of, let's say, Miles Sanders, Daniel Jones, and Adams for a Garrett Wilson, Olave type of player and have a Burrow or Fields come your direction, then you just change the game. And then your one move is Keenan Allen and Aaron Jones to go get some sort of top, 5, 6, 7 wide receiver. And then all of a sudden, you're in the mix, bro. You got Eckler, you got Saquon, you got Pollard in one of the flex spots, you got Andrews, you're going to have Olave and Burrow. This team is completely different. Those are the ways you got to go about this. We got one more $20 super chat. Hang tight.
Alert. Super chat alert.
100.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Appreciate another $100 hauler. I can only imagine this is about Watson again. Hold on. Blake, I've never been so excited to see anti-Watson comments. Get me on that call, Smitty. I'm 808 number. Okay, Blake. Dial into the phone line. I'll look for it. But yeah, bro, that's the easiest way to turn this team around. If you had Joe Burrow, or even if it was T-Law, Olave, that's a whole different ball game right there. Okay?
Yeah.
So get to work on that. And then next time you do something like this, make sure you do a late draft or something where you know you could be around. But there's nothing worse than getting auto drafted. But look at it as a challenge, you know. Russian Collusion's been a member for 11 months. He said, hit that like button. Collusion, appreciate you.
Yeah, the reason why it happened, because I thought it was Eastern, I thought it was gonna be Eastern time, but it was a Pacific time. So yeah, that messed it all up. But
that's all right. All right, hang tight real quickly. We've got Blake on the line. Blake, first of all, pal, appreciate the $100 haulers you keep dropping. The anti-Watson propaganda is definitely helping us lower the ADP on Watson. So much appreciated. Bro fist to you. What can I do for you, Blake?
Hey, Smitty.
Yeah.
Smitty, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Remember, it's a family show.
Why?
It's a family show. Just
right. This is right. This is a family show.
Okay.
Why Jordan Love? I just want to know why Jordan Love and Watson. I know that Watson is good. I get that. But Jordan Love looks like me 2,000 feet under the ocean trying to sling the rock.
Don't be hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. I believe in you. You know.
I believe in myself.
Yeah. I guess I would say this to you. My eyeball test is a very strong test. And sometimes you don't get a lot to go on and you got to make a call. And my not a lot to go on and making my call isn't like some outlandish prediction for Jordan Love. It's, can Jordan Love be competent enough to throw a massive amount of targets to the tune that Watson catches 80 footballs? Can he throw? Keep in mind, Jimmy G, who was one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL by far, was able to feed a ton of production to Deebo Samuel. And Watson has that kind of skill set where he could literally catch 1, 2, 3 yard passes, a pass behind the line of scrimmage, a pass behind Jordan Love, which would count as a rush. There's a lot of times where Watson's going to be given the football and asked to go make a play. And so you ask me, do I love Jordan Love? I've never once said I love Jordan Love. I like Jordan Love a lot because of how competent, not great, not amazing, he can be in this pretty productive offense that will move the football down the field, but be behind in the third and fourth quarter, Blake. They're going to be behind. They're not winning a lot of games. Like, they're not going to be a playoff contending team, but they'll try and push for it, and they'll try and get better. And being down in the third and fourth quarter spells glory for this man right here. And if we took everything analytical out and all the stats out and all the numbers and metrics all out, because this guy was absolutely amazing per like route run, he's phenomenal. If we took all those statistical number type things out of the equation, and we just went off what did I see, what feeling do I get about him, that's all I need. This guy to me has shown that he has star potential. And I'm not saying he's 1, 2, 3, or 4, Blake. I'm saying he's we'll call him a 7 to 11, 7 to 12, which would be the lowest end wide receiver if he's 12. in fantasy football. Not something you got to draft for, too. You're getting him in the, grandma leagues about the 4th round. You said top 50 player or not in the top 50. So you're saying he could be like 51, 52. You're drafting him at 40, 45 overall. So even if I'm wrong, you're not wrong when you throw him out on the field as your 4.5 round player.
Smitty, I put a lot of trust in your advice, okay? Because I've come last for 4 years in a row. All right?
Not watching my content.
And not on my own judgment, by the way.
Yeah. Well,
this is just a conglomerate. No, it's a conglomeration of a lot of YouTubers telling me the best of the best.
Why don't you focus in on this channel and we'll get you into the top 5%. How's that?
I'm there. I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm with you. I'm excited. I'm excited to ride the Smitty train.
Hey, can you do me a favor and just go watch? First of all, Jordan Love, we don't have a lot to go on. Okay, so you're not wrong in predicting him to be a bust. Like if you say he's going to be a bust. Because we haven't seen a lot of Jordan Love. I'm not like so confident in Jordan Love, but I am confident that the Green Bay Packers believe in him to the point where they were ready to move on. They think he's got something special. And can we give Green Bay the benefit of the doubt? Not to get the next Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre in there, but this team has had 2 quarterbacks signal call for them since the early 90s. They've had 2 quarterbacks. What other team can say that? Nobody. Answer is nobody. So can we at least give them the benefit of the doubt that they know what they're doing, like at the quarterback position, enough to say this is a competent quarterback? I think we should give Green Bay the benefit of the doubt on that. They moved on to Jordan Love for a reason. He's competent enough to throw the ball a lot when they're down in the 3rd and 4th quarter. And I'm telling you, my eyeballs are telling me that this kid is special. He's 6'4", runs a 4.28 40, which I didn't even put in the intro of the video. He runs a 4.28 40, and he's 6'4". There's so much specialness going on right here on this screen. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. If he stays healthy, he's gonna be a mini monster at the very least.
I trust you, Smitty. And not because you look like Eminem, but because I believe in the entire regimen that you've been spitting for the last 3 years I've been watching you. Okay?
Would the real Blake P please stand up? I appreciate you. Mom Spaghetti, Palm Sweaty. Trust me when I say Watson is going to the moon, pal.
To the moon.
Okay.
I love you, Smitty.
I'll
talk to you in a bit. I feel like we got a big connection, and
hey,
whenever I'm in Arizona, I'll just parachute on top of your roof, and we'll take it from there.
Okay, Crotty in the garage. Appreciate you. Keep dropping those super chats whenever you feel the urge. Never expected, always appreciated. Blake P. Hey Blake, for my bold prediction board, because if you drop a $50 hauler, you get a prediction. Give me 2 predictions to put on the board right now.
2 predictions? All right. Let me think. Real quick. Hold on. Okay. 2 predictions. Tua Tagovailoa will have at least 2 concussions. And I really think, hold on, wait. I got this. I do believe, oh my God, it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Do you want to think about it? You want to call back?
No. Just give me 5 seconds. All right. Tua Tagovailoa, 2 concussions, and Tyreek Hill will finish outside of the top 10.
Tyreek Hill.
I'm a Florida boy. That's all I know. I don't know anything. I don't know anything but the Dolphins.
Not top 10. Wide receivers? Okay.
All right, I love you, Smitty. I got to go. I got to drink some. I love you.
Yeah, don't want to keep you. Appreciate you, man. Later.
All right, bro.
Okay, so you heard it from Blake himself. Blake is the man, the myth, the legend. Blake P, everybody. Blake P. Appreciate him calling in. Gotta enter his number in, so Blake, you'll have a bat line connection right into the show. Blake dropping 3 $100 super chats tonight. An absolute machine. Oscar, let's go to Frank. Frank, you're live. I haven't given you a chance to speak. Frank, you're live on the show. What can I help you with?
Hey, Smitty.
Hey.
Hey, I want to let you know that I just ended up doing the pick'ems, and I did 2 500 different cards. I took Trevor Lawrence on one card with Bijan going on the overs, and I took him on the yards, Trevor Lawrence, because I think he's going to smash it. I think he's going to hit over 4,000 easily on this offense.
You did five hundo on that one?
Oh, 500 on that one, yes, sir. Nice. And then I took Austin Eckler as well. I think Austin Eckler, Kevin Moore's offense, if you look at what Tony Pollard did last year, he had 1,100 yards, and he didn't even take, not even over 100 and whatever, 50 rushing snaps.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Eckler's going to kill it at 775. I mean, I think 775 yards. So I took Eckler. I took Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff's going to kill it on that offense over 25. I think last year he hit 27 or 28. And then Joe Burrow at 33.5 on the touchdown. So one card. And then on the other card, it was 500 as well. I took Chris Olave going on the overs. I took Amon St. Brown on the overs as well on the yardage. Drake London on the overs on the yardage.
Drake London and Watson are both at 850, right? That's just unbelievable. Like,
and I took them.
They're taking that away. They're taking that away. There's no way they're leaving that out there for very long. If you want to take advantage of Watson 850 yards over and Drake London 850 yards over, you want to race over to the link that I have pinned in the live chat. You want to race over to Underdog Fantasy using code Smitty because they'll double your first deposit up to $100. Get on over there and take advantage of what we're talking about right now. 850 yards for London, 850 for Watson, and even 800 and I think it's 850 for Ridley.
Yeah, I took them too as well on this card. So I got Chris Olave, Amon St. Brown, Drake, and Christian London, and Christian Watson, and Calvin Ridley on this card for 855. So for 500. So it's a total payout of 10 grand on each side for 2 cards. So we'll see what happens, Smitty. But hey, we'll ride it out, brother.
Yeah, I'll know you win when I see a little super come in and you say, "We did it."
For sure.
We did it, Smitty.
For sure.
Frank, hang tight. Don't go anywhere unless you got to go. Jaime with a super chat, long-time viewer, best fantasy sports entertainment on YouTube, 200 plus Underdog chats. Let's go, Smitty Nation. Ron, Denny, all the guests to the moon. Appreciate you, Jaime.
To the moon.
My boy Jaime, to the moon. Appreciate you. Let's head on over back to Oscar. Bama. Oh, no, Bama. Have you talked yet, Bama?
No.
I'm sorry, Bama. Bama, what can I do for you? You should have jumped right to the top. Just interrupt me. Bama, when you call, I'm going to give you a free pass to interrupt and jump right in whenever you want. So thank you for being patient. What can I do for you, Bama? Bama's been dropping super chats and gifted memberships and just being an absolute legend on this show. Bama, go. Floor is yours.
I hate to do this, but I may have to quit listening to your show for a while.
Okay. Why is that, Bama? You going
away?
You
y'all keep talking about these pick'ems.
You going away?
And my computer went down, and I'm not able to get it on my phone. I've called Underdog, and they're trying to work on it, get it up. But so I'm missing out on all these good picks. So I get tired of hearing about y'all talking about all this free money, and I'm over here sitting just wishing I could get on.
I thought maybe you were going away for a while. You're like, Smitty, I won't be able to listen to the show. Heading to the pen.
My question is, are you drafting any of the Arizona Cardinals? Because I've heard a couple people talking about they're actually thinking about sitting Kyler for a whole year.
So, good question, and I talk about this a lot. So, we'll repeat it again because Bama, the legend in here. Bama, don't. And I know you're joking, but don't you go anywhere, pal. You better not go anywhere. And if you work on it with Underdog, they'll get you squared away. Just, send them another inquiry if you don't hear from them the next, a day or so, and just let them know. What you might have to do, Bama, is your account locked, or is it just giving you like a zip code error or something?
Yeah, it won't even let me log into it. I've had to draft on my phone for the past, about 12, 14 hours now.
Yeah, but you could still get on the pick'ems from your phone then.
No, it only let me draft. It won't even let me see none of the pick'ems. It won't let me change to basketball, any other sports. I'm already logged in on the NFL, and I just have to go in there and hit active. And
okay, have you ever tried?
Go into draft.
Have you ever tried logging in for the first time on like a new browser? And you got to make sure you allow locational, access because they need to make sure you're in that area. I would try troubleshooting on a few different like browsers and seeing if you can get it to like recognize you. But yeah, I don't know what that is, but they'll definitely take care of you if you reach out. But Bama, to answer your question about Arizona, I'm not drafting any Arizona Cardinals. I do like Michael Wilson, the rookie wide receiver, in certain contexts, like Dynasty, or, if I'm picking the last pick in a 18-round underdog draft, and I just take Michael Wilson as the last receiver or something like that. Like, I've been known to do that, but I'm not interested in Hollywood. I'm not interested in James Conner at cost of entry. I think Kyler could be sat the entire year. It's a possibility, but anybody saying that, they're speculating. They have zero knowledge of whether the Cardinals are going to sit Kyler Murray. That is 100% a speculation type of call right there. So anybody saying that they're hearing that, the Cardinals aren't releasing that information. The Cardinals haven't decided on doing anything like that. They don't truly know when Kyler will be available. They don't know what their record's going to be by the time Kyler can come back. Maybe somehow, some way, this quarterback tune comes in and does something special for 5 or 6 games, and the Cardinals, they don't know what's going to happen. I wouldn't touch the Cardinal players until we know what's what, meaning that I won't draft them. I maybe trade for them or something like that. But if the Cardinals are, let's say, just on their road to the number 1 overall pick, and it's week number 9, and Kyler's kind of, iffy to come back, if they want to trade him and they're in the sweepstakes for the number 1 overall pick to get Caleb Williams, if anybody's got the show in the background, can they mute that, please? Because I'm hearing a bunch of echo. I hear the entire show in the background. So whoever's got the show on, please turn that down or mute until. Thank you. It went away. Whoever did that, it worked. Thank you. If they're week 9 or 10 and they're like 1 win and they're in the leading spot for Caleb Williams, and they're going to draft him number 1 overall, the last thing in the world the Cardinals are going to do is run Kyler Murray out onto the field to get him injured, because his value won't really go down at all if they just sit him out the entire year. And, maybe he comes in and just shows a thing or two in the week 17 or week 18 to just show that he's, capable, and then it eases the mind of everybody. And you can't say to yourself, Kyler's never played, since you could say he went out there in week 17, looked good. Okay, he's getting traded. If the Cardinals have the 1 overall pick, the organization will want to go after Caleb Williams. I don't know why the organization gave Kyler Murray the bag. They shouldn't have. I was against it. I don't believe in Kyler Murray. I think his attitude sucks. I think his drive is horrible. I think that his size doesn't concern me if he had the drive and determination, which is why I think Bryce Young can be very, very good, because Kyler Murray's size wasn't proven wrong. The combination of his attitude and drive and ability to want to take a hit is why I think he fails in the NFL, at least to a degree. He's still shown promise. He still could. He's still very young. Could he change that, turn that around? I give him an opportunity to, but I don't want him in Arizona. But anybody saying that that's a lock, that they're not playing Kyler Murray at all, they don't know. They're just guessing. But yeah, there's a chance that plays out that way, sure.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. I'm just going to finish listening to the show, and I just want to call in and give you a holler real quick.
All right. Hey, man, let me know if you have further problems with that, but Underdog will take care of you. Just keep at it. Send him another message. Let him know, you can't get on. Let him know you're a watcher of this show or whatever, and that you're trying to get on, and you're just trying to spread the good word about their platform, because Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty is amazing. But just sometimes if you travel around and you go near like a zip code, you might not know it. Some states have a couple of zip codes inside the state that might trigger something. You just gotta be careful and just maybe turn. Have you restarted your phone?
I have, yes, sir.
Okay, all right, yeah. Just try a browser or two from home, and definitely don't create another account or anything, because they don't like that. Just use the same account, keep contacting them, and they'll fix it for you. Unless maybe
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah. All right, man, appreciate you. You can hang on the line if you want to. Frank, what else you got, Frank?
Hey, that's it, Smitty. That's all I got, brother. I'm just here listening to you, man. Great
Okay.
show. I love everybody's interaction tonight, and it's going great.
Yeah. All right. Living legend. Anything else? What do you got?
That's it, man. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Later, Frank. Living legend.
Yeah, no, that's it, Smitty, man. You have a good weekend, brother.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Oscar, anything else you'd like to add, my man?
Yeah, just one last question. How are you feeling from a dynasty perspective, between Travion Williams and Chase Brown out of Cincinnati?
Chase Brown and Travion. I like Chase Brown a lot. Williams, I'm not expecting much. I mean, anything can happen, but I definitely feel like Chase Brown's the most likely player to kind of surprise and take a hold of that job at some point. And the cost of entry is phenomenal. 3 super chats I'll get to in 1 second. One from Terry Roberts, one from Jaime, and one from Tristan. I would say Chase Brown at cost of entry is a phenomenal play. If you own Mixon, you got to cuff him to Chase Brown, and you have no excuse not to take Chase Brown a round earlier than his ADP, and just make sure you cuff the situation. But I do think Chase Brown, who's a nice size running back, prototypical type size, gets into the lineup at some point and starts games. If it's 2 games, 3 games, 4 games, I don't know. But I do believe he'll start some games and look pretty effective. Do I think he's the future there? I don't know. This could be one of those situations like he's Tyler Algier, and then they replace him with some better prospect the next year. So I wouldn't count on anything, but I'd definitely say that he's got a lot of upside. I do.
Got it. Yeah. So between. Oh, sorry.
I do think A-Chain in Miami, Roshan Johnson in Chicago. Those are all 3, and then Chase Brown. All 3 very similar upside, similar ADP, similar situations. And you got Dalvin Cook maybe going to Miami, so that could crap all over the A-Chain, potential. You've got maybe Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook should go to Chicago, but I haven't heard anything about that. That would be a good place.
Got it. Cool. Awesome. Thank you, Smith.
All right, Oscar.
Appreciate you.
Phone lines are open if anybody would like to dial into the show. I'm here for you. Appreciate our boy Bama calling in. Bama is a total legend. We've got Blake P becoming a legend in one single show. Blake P we're going to take to the promised land. Blake P who dropped multiple $100 haulers, was an anti-Christian Watson guy walking into this live stream, and I believe we may have flipped him. Tristan is on the phone. Tristan, IG subscriber on Instagram. I'm about to read these messages or have these messages play. I don't know if anybody knows how to become a voicemail leaver on the show here. Daily voicemails every single day. You can drop them by going to my Instagram, The Fantasy Football Show, clicking that subscribe button, and for $4.99 you can leave voice messages on the daily, which I'm about to get to right now. Tristan, did you have a voicemail?
Yes,
do you have a voicemail in here?
No, sir. I don't have one in there right now. But the voicemails, yes, sir. Way to go. That's the way to go.
Yes, sir. Okay, what can I do for you, Tristan? And let me get back to your super chat. Let me read your super chat first. Your super chat says, Smitty, you're the best. Everyone, don't sleep on Ty Chandler. I played junior pro with him in middle school against him. He's got the dog in him. Appreciate you, Smitty. I do like Ty Chandler. As I said earlier, McBride's probably the better long-term bet, but I think we need to monitor the situation because Ty Chandler had a lot of hype last year, and then it kind of went away. And so we gotta keep in mind that hype was once there. And McBride has a big fumbling problem. So it wouldn't shock me if Ty Chandler was the cuff. And we need to be open-minded to change directions. If, let's say, McBride's like behind, he gets banged up, whatever, then you got to switch up and go, okay, cuff Ty Chandler to Madison immediately. I like Ty Chandler. I do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Ty Chandler could be a sleepy play. He could be a big nothing burger, but he has a lot of skill, a lot of sleeper type skill. So grab him at the very least to cuff to Madison, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. What else you got, Tristan?
I watched him hurdle someone in freaking 7th grade,
Timothy.
man.
Yeah, he's 7th grade.
And I played against him in 7th grade, little middle school football. He was hurdling people, man. I'm telling you, he's a monster.
You heard it here. 7th grade. This man has made such a long-lasting impression on Tristan. He's drafting him in every single league. Is he the most exposure you have on Underdog? Is it Ty Chandler, that 7th grade monster?
No, probably not. But I'm telling you right now, man. I'm just saying what I saw. I'm just telling you what I saw.
Is it YouTube that restricts me from gifting memberships? Sick Nasty, you might have to click that. There's some kind of button somewhere where you can enable it. So you should be able to. You should be able to enable it. Okay. Hey, Tristan, hang tight real quick while I play his voice messages. Maybe you can help answer them. Here's the first one.
Quick question. I was just wondering how important is stacking your quarterback with your wide receiver or even a tight end? Does it matter stacking a quarterback with a running back? Is that any useful? Just wondering the value of it overall.
So his question was, I don't know if you guys could hear, he's pretty quiet, but his question was, how do you value stacking? Is stacking important? Is stacking something that I value? Stacking, it means nothing in non-best ball. And it's fun. That's the most it is. It's fun. Even in best ball, It's not. I don't think people are talking enough about this. And I think similar to me being early quarterback and everybody coming around, like you hear early quarterback now everywhere. And I was like by myself in the industry for like 5 years, just cranking out. And I'm gonna have an early quarterback video because there's still people out there that are anti-early quarterback, and they're I feel like they brainwash people into thinking this. But it's in you know, and I know Ron is a big supporter of early quarterback as well, and we talk about this a lot offline and stuff. Early quarterback, it's as much as I love T. Law and Burrow in the 4th and 6th round or 7th round for T. Law, there's an argument to be made that early quarterback is just easily equal to any other strategy someone throws at me that says, you took Hurts at 15 overall. I will show you my Hurts and said player that you take where you take your quarterback is at least equal or better than what you do. Doesn't mean I don't love Burrow in round 4. I have 60% exposure to Burrow on Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Smitty, link pinned in the live chat in the description of every video. And we draft tonight. We draft tonight on the channel at midnight. Make sure you click that link and get ready or you won't get in. I have 60% ownership exposure of Burrow in the 4th round. So I'm not drafting Mahomes, Hurts, and Josh Allen, anything more than 40%. But whenever I don't go Burrow or Trevor Lawrence in round 6 or 7 or Burrow in 4, I'm going early quarterback the rest of the time. So like 35, 40% of the time, I'm going Hurts, Mahomes, or Josh Allen in round 2. Very similar to that argument that I have been arguing for years that people are coming around on. I believe next year we hear a lot of people that start researching stacking in best ball and researching it in ways that is a lot more telling as to why. And did somebody drop a YouTube exclusive membership here? It looks like Russian collusion gifted 20 YouTube. Hold on one second.
Alert! Super chat alert! Alert! Super chat alert!
Appreciate that 20 gifted memberships by my boy Russian Collusion. My whole point, I'm sorry I'm dragging this on. My whole point is that I believe stacking is not as important in best ball as people are making it out to be because people are researching one side of it. They're saying this guy won because he stacked. This guy won because he stacked. Hey, the winner had the stack here. The winner had the stack here. Well, guess what? Burrow and Chase is going to help you win a lot of leagues. In stacking that is going to be not, I don't want to say ironic. There is proven data that stacking, people that win have stacks, but these are teams that are very high in potency. You're talking about A.J. Brown and Justin Hurts scoring a lot, and they're always consistent. You're talking about Burrow and Chase scoring a lot. They're always consistent. But having Hurts and Chase instead of Burrow and Chase, I believe next year people are going to come out with data. I haven't had time to research it to the extent that I want to, but I do really, really want to. Tell me that Jalen Hurts isn't going to be as consistent as Burrow. He could be. And there are scenarios where Hurts and Chase will outscore Burrow and Chase in weeks 15, 16, 17. Who's to say Hurts doesn't outscore Burrow in every single one of those weeks? Hurts could have more points than Burrow in week 15, 16, and 17 in back-to-back-to-back weeks, and Chase still blow up. And because you have Hurts and Chase, you're going to beat every single combination of Burrow and Chase out there. It's crazy to me that people act like you can't win if you don't stack in best ball. Is it advantageous? Data says that it is. Is everybody looking at the data the most ideal way? I don't think so. So in best ball, I will leave you with this to answer the question of Raul. Stacking appears to be, and I believe, pretty advantageous in best ball when we're talking about high potency, big, huge, high octane offenses that are consistent 100%. But in redraft, in dynasty, non-best ball situations, there's no evidence whatsoever that you're going to outscore your opponents more often than normal because you have a stack. What we're talking about is it fun and is it consistent to have Burrow and Chase? It is, because it's going to be a high potent offense every single week. Is A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith with Hurts or Diggs and Josh Allen going to be consistent? Yes. Is drafting a Stafford and a Cup better than drafting another quarterback like, I don't know, Jordan Love and Cup? No, there's no advantage having Stafford and Cup. The only advantage is when we're talking about high, potent, consistent offenses that are never going to fail you. Hang tight real quick. 812 caller. Who are we talking to?
Hey, this is Tyler.
Tyler, what's up, Tyler?
Hey, man. Hey, so as soon as you came on, I went in and did an underdog draft. Of course, try to get Christian Watson all hyped up about him this year. So this is what I came up with. But I have a question after I kind of share with you the team. I had number one pick, so I took Chase. I ended up going Tony Pollard, Breece Hall, Joe Burrow, Zach Charbonnet, and then I also got Drake London, George Pickens, and Jahan Dotson, along with Dalton Kincaid there towards the end. Feel like I'm nailing all the guys you have out there. But my question is this: is once I get towards like the end of the draft, like I'm just taking shots on guys. Is there anybody that you're kind of looking at and saying, hey, these are kind of long shots, but high upside, guys that you would try to target towards the end to fill in the rest of the roster?
On Underdog, in best ball?
Oh, yes. Yeah, for sure.
Charlie Jones at the last pick in your draft as a wide receiver. And the great part about when you do what I'm suggesting here is you can tuck these guys away. You can queue them up and tuck them away and count on that they're your last pick, which gives you flexibility to not, like, let's say you got 6 wide receivers. You want to have 7 wide receivers in best ball. You can get away with 6 if they're all great, but you want to have probably 7 wide receivers in best ball, okay? And the fact that Charlie Jones, the Bengals rookie wide receiver, and we had Scott Hansen come on, and Scott said that was his favorite breakout, like long, deep breakout in fantasy football. That was really cool of him to say that name because he's a really impressive kid. He was number 1 in the nation in receptions. He was number 2 in the nation in yardage, and I believe he was 2 in the nation in touchdowns. So he had a good year. He's behind Tank Dell. That's the only player that outperformed him. Tank Dell's another one. Tank Dell can go in round 15, 16, 17, though, so you can't really get him in the final round, but you can get Tank Dell like clockwork in round 16. And I don't even mind reaching for him around 15 just to make sure you get him. But you can literally say, I'm not going to grab my final wide receiver until round 18, and I know he'll be there, Charlie Jones. That's kind of a creative one, especially if you have Bengal wide receivers and Joe Burrow. That's a great stack to have, a little sidecar stack, and there's some advantage to that because if you have Chase and he goes down, Charlie Jones will increase. If you have Boyd and Boyd goes down, Charlie Jones will increase. If you have Higgins, Charlie Jones will increase. So that's a good one. Tank Dell's a really good one. And Luke Musgrave as the 18th round second tight end that you draft, or third tight end if you like to do a three tight end approach. He's always there in the final round, round 18. So those are guys you can set it and forget it for round 18 and focus on not even worrying about wide receiver. I can ignore, like once I 6 wide receivers, you can even toggle off wide receivers and keep drafting, and then you get to Charlie Jones in round 18. But Tank Dell would be my favorite, and Tank Dell, I think, will be a fantasy football wide receiver 3. And you're drafting him in like 15, round 15. It's unbelievable. He's got there's a reason he's on the Moon Man list.
The Moon Men, dropping loads
He's
in
right here.
space.
He's right here in the corner. He's a Moon Man, and you get him around 15. He's our deepest shot in the dark.
Space Monsters.
And I don't even feel like it's a shot in the dark. I feel like it's almost a guarantee. He's such an amazing player. He almost had the hat trick in college last year. He led the nation in touchdowns. He led the nation in yardage, and he was second only behind Charlie Jones, who I just talked about, in receptions. He had 109 receptions. Charlie Jones had 110. Tank Dell almost had the hat trick, which Cooper Kupp did in the pros. He almost had the hat trick in college last year, Tank Dell. And why are people sleeping on him? I have no idea. No idea. Can't even fathom it. We're going to change that. People are going to talk about Tank Dell because of this show, because we pump him up all the time. He's on the Moon Man list. He will climb, but right now he's in the 15th round. It's crazy, bro.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for giving me some guys to shoot for there at the end.
Yeah.
And Smitty, I just wanted to throw in there, I think the Patriots wide receivers are going significantly undervalued in a lot of best ball drafts. Like Tyquan Thornton, the fastest receiver in the NFL apparently is the wide receiver number 2, possibly number 1 on the Patriots, is going around those ranges as well.
I don't know about that. Hey, bro, that's why we played the game, and we're not always going to agree. And bro, I'm missing in a great year where I'm beating the entire industry to pieces. Let's say I have the best predicting year of my life. I'm predicting 75% of what I'm saying. Like, that would be an unbelievable accuracy year. So 25% of what any analyst, 100%, you're going to have an analyst have at least 25% of what they say wrong. So you could be right on this, and this could be one of the things I'm going to swing and miss hard, but I'm not going near New England Patriot players unless his name is Ramondre Stevenson. But that's me. Yeah.
Smitty, they won 8 games with no offensive coordinator whatsoever. Bill Belichick trolled the whole league with 0 offensive coordinator and won 8 games. What do you think they're going to do when they, you saw what DeAndre Hopkins, did with Billy O? You see what a lot of receivers do when they're with Billy O? They have good careers.
Yeah, but my concern would be, maybe a guy has a good track record, but if he has no weapons, like let's say Hopkins goes to New England, I think Hopkins doesn't.
This is best ball. We're swinging
okay.
for the upside. We're swinging for risk and going in directions that most people are scared of going, because that's how you make the most upside.
And I agree with you, but that wouldn't be the direction I go, just personally. But I appreciate it. And bro, again, we're not going to always agree, and that's fine. And I'm glad I have people on here that speak their mind and talk about what they like, because my followers don't want to just hear everything I want to say all the time. It's nice to hear something. Like, your comment might make somebody go and draft, one of those New England players that I wouldn't be talking about. So it adds value here. And I'm not saying that you're 100% wrong, because no one's seen it play out yet. But I would just say that you got Mac Jones and you've got Zappy, who I like better than Mac Jones. It's really hard for me to buy into any one of those players being consistent. And you might be right; they might do better than I think. But why not take Tank? Why not take Tank Dell? Why not take? And you could get Tank Dell and those guys. I'm not saying you have to choose, but I feel like I can identify wide receivers to the point where I don't even need to go near that prediction. I'll watch it from afar and I'll root for you. I hope that it does work out, but I'm going to have Tank Dell. Boom. I'm going to have Jalen Hyatt. Boom. I'm going to have those guys. Josh Downs. Boom. Give me some of that. Sling it. Sling it. I don't want none of that garbage over in New England except for Ramondre. Tank Dell to the moon. Okay, hang tight. Good one. Good one. G Money. You're live, my guy. I look, I miss seeing G Money call in. I miss seeing G Money's name in the live chat. G Money, tell me you're coming back on a consistent basis more often because we need more G Money.
There's B Money.
Oh, B Money. I'm sorry. Well, we still need more G Money.
Money.
All right, hold on. B Money. Let me fix it in the phone line.
Okay.
So that I am properly addressing you. B Money. I think G Money's in the chat. So, okay, this is B Money.
D.
Oh, D like is in dog?
Yeah, D is in dog.
Okay, D Money. Okay, D.
Dog.
Big D. Big D Money. What can I do for you, Big D?
Yeah. Well, I'm always in the chat too, and I listen every day as well. But
Attaboy. I appreciate you.
I've been listening like the last 3 or 4 years to your show because it's an awesome show.
I appreciate you.
But I talked to you. I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago about the trade offer I had about So I'm in a PPR league, right? It's a redraft league, and I had the 10th pick, and the guy had the 3rd pick. He offered me a trade. He wants my 2nd and 3rd for his 1st and 4th.
In a startup. Hold on, say it again. It's a startup, and what is it? Is it Superflex?
It's just a redraft league for PPR.
Superflex or no?
No Superflex.
Okay, say it again. What are the picks?
PPR.
What's the trade again?
He wants my 2nd and 3rd for his 1 and 4, and I'm in the 10th spot, and he's in the 3rd spot.
So 10th spot. So you're here, and he's in the 3rd spot.
Yes, he got the 3rd pick, and I got the 10th pick.
Okay.
Now, like I said, he want to give me his 1 and 4th pick for my 2nd and 3rd. Now, in our league, our PPR league, so full PPR. Now, the touchdowns is 10 points instead of 6 for receivers, and our rushing touchdowns is still 6 points.
So throwing touchdowns are 6?
Yes, and our passing touchdowns, our receiving touchdowns is 10 points.
Okay.
So last year it went running back heavy. So now I think this year everybody's going to go receiver heavy.
So 10.
So this is.
Okay, so we're talking about a late 4th rounder and an early 2nd is I'm sorry, a late 4th, you're giving up a early 2nd rounder and a late 3rd rounder for a late 4th rounder.
No, I'm giving up. I got the 10th. I got the 10th, and it's a 10-man league.
Yeah, so you got the 10th. You got the 10th pick, which means you got a early 2nd rounder and a late 3rd rounder. Right. A late 3rd rounder. So you're giving up these 2 picks for a high 1st and a late 4th.
Late 4th, right.
I would take that's crazy.
Now,
if
listen, I traded my 5th round pick for Ramondre Stevenson. So I got him as a running back already for my 5th round pick. So I won't have a 5th pick. Now, also, it's a keeper league. I got 3 players to choose from. It's between Jalen Hurts, Kenneth Walker, and A.J. Brown. And I can just keep one of them as my keeper. And then I can start the draft. So since it's receiver heavy, I would want either Chase or Jefferson or Cup with that third, my first pick, with the 3rd overall pick. And then I can keep. And then with the 2nd pick, I want to try to get maybe Bijan if he falls to me.
Okay.
And
so
then I won't have a 2nd and 3rd.
I think your team, this might allow you to get Bijan. You could also get Gibbs. You're talking about 2 keeper leagues. So Gibbs in round 2 would be a steal if everybody's keeping 1 or 2 players because he's a steal in a startup at like late 3rd. So I would say if you don't get Bijan here, I wouldn't even be afraid to go Gibbs here. Yeah, get one of those 3 wide receivers. Keep Jalen Hurts at 6 points per TD pass. I think he throws for a lot more passing touchdowns this year, and he's going to run for a ton. And he's a guaranteed point, monster for you. And in a 6 point per TD league, even though he's the one quarterback of the big 4 that probably throws for the least amount of passing touchdowns, I still think it's an absolute gem of a keeper. Given he'd be going essentially in the 2nd or 3rd round equivalent because it's a 2-man. keeper league. So that's really first round is third round. So you're not gonna.
Well, it's a one man keeper league. I
But
just traded my 5th round pick.
Okay.
For
Okay, so
Ramondre.
you have 2 keepers because you made a trade. Well, even so, if Hurts is a second round pick in a regular startup, and your key is a keeper league, you would be lucky to get him here, and you won't. And you don't even need to go that route. I keep Hurts. You have Ramondre Stevenson. Go wide receiver. Get that wide receiver here. Take one of the top 3 wide receivers, like you said, Bijan or Gibbs here, and you just smash, bro. Lave, if people aren't paying attention, but you're probably not going to get him around 4. You could get a London. You could get a whole bunch of other players. This would be a great start. Stevenson, Hurts. Hopefully you get Jamar Chase, and then Bijan or Gibbs in the second. Absolute smash, bro.
So okay, so if I do that, so Bijan don't fall to me. I was thinking about maybe getting either Kelsey. I want either Diggs or Kelsey.
I don't mind that either.
So then in the 4th round, I was thinking, since I would have one receiver and one running back, I was thinking about maybe getting Gibbs at the 4.
Yeah, if he fell.
4-1.
If he fell, bro.
And then maybe later on with that 4-7, what should I go for around that?
Bro, you're thinking a little too ahead of the game. You got to go with flow. I mean, Chase, London, Gibbs, Kenneth Walker will probably still fall into that territory potentially. But you are thinking a little too far ahead. You can't. You don't make sure you don't go in with a plan. Like go in with a general rough idea of where you would go, practice all avenues, but don't feel like you're getting a position. Draft the player, not the position.
Right. Okay, but you would take that offer?
Yeah. I probably would. I mean, we're talking about maybe. Do you think Jamar Chase or Jefferson could fall, or do you think it's Cooper Kupp you're getting? Which I don't mind.
I would get either Jefferson or Chase.
Okay.
Okay. With that first
you think
pick.
you'll get that? Okay, so if you're pretty confident you're going to get that, you're getting Jamar Chase or Jefferson, and let's call it Walker or Gibbs in that 4th round if you think that they'll fall. And it sounds like maybe this is the kind of league where they do fall. 6 points per TD pass will squeeze in a couple more quarterbacks than normal. Yeah, I mean you're talking about what at that high 2nd round pick, St. Brown. I don't mind St. Brown there, but I'd rather have that wide receiver if you think you get even a shot at Chase or JJ, bro. Smash it.
Okay.
All right,
Committee approved. Thank you. I
D Money,
it.
appreciate you. All right, I'm going to cycle through the phone line and get people off of here. Appreciate you, D Money. Let's go to Tristan. Tristan, final thoughts.
I don't got too much for you, Smitty. I'll let you go, man. I appreciate everything.
All right, Tristan, call in tonight, pal. We'll be live.
Oh, that's right. You're doing Fridays, right? Okay,
Yep,
yeah.
Friday
All right.
draft
Good
night.
Smitty.
See you tonight. Later. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
Hello?
Area code 415. Who am I talking to?
This is Matt.
What's up, Matt? What can I do for you, pal?
Hey, Smitty, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Been watching for a year. Just bought your content package like a couple days ago, so excited to continue on with you.
Yeah, Matt, appreciate you. The video courses are dropping. Check out that section that's exclusive to the community that purchases at thefantasyfootballshow.com. A lot more content dropping. Probably an article a day is going to be hitting here now, so get ready for that. You're going to get overload of content. Right now is about when I start cranking that up. But appreciate you buying that. And anybody else wants that, go to thefantasyfootballshow.com. One-on-one text device, year-round rankings, bold predictions, trade calculator. What can I do for you, pal? This is Matt. You said Matt, right?
All right. Yeah, Matt.
Yeah, Matt. What can I do for you?
All right, so I got a question for a keeper league. And I, luckily enough, am keeping Drake London in the 8th and Garrett Wilson in the 9th.
Woo!
So, pretty good value there.
Yeah.
And but my question is, I know in this league, because I drafted with them for like 2 years, this will be the 3rd, they draft running back heavy. So I really don't expect like Jefferson, Chase, to be picked before like pick 7 or 8. And since I do have Garrett Wilson and a Drake London, later on, should I pick somebody like Nick Chubb towards like if I get like a late draft position
over like a Jefferson or Chase, which sounds crazy, but last year like Cordero Patterson was the best running back coming back to me in round 3. So they are running back hungry.
Okay, so what's the question?
Well, would it be all right in that case, in that type of league, to draft like a Nick Chubb over, like a Jefferson or something like that?
No, I wouldn't, because you got Olave and London already, right? So you got that locked down.
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson and London. You're so good at wide receiver. I'm not afraid to go JJ or Chase and then come around and grab, let's just say, do you think you'd have a shot at Walker with that next pick, Gibbs? I mean, if that was your running back 1 and then you couple that with Swift and Kamara or Pacheco and, guys like that, I mean, I think you'd find a way to scoop up some RBs and have one of those crafty running back rooms to go along with a Burrow, a Jefferson, or a Burrow and Chase and London and Garrett Wilson. I mean, I wouldn't be afraid to. You got to go best player available. To choose a running back and fear that the running backs will get scooped up is drafting a position and not a player. And for that reason, that's not best player available. I'm not liking that. I'm not saying it can't backfire and you have like a vacancy and a hole as your running back 2 and you just feel like nervous about it. But value-wise, you're creating a team that you shouldn't be creating in a sense. By doing it, by drafting that best player available.
Okay, so even if I know, normally I would 100% agree with that. But it's just since I know they're running back hungry, and I do have a lock and wide receiver, you still think best player available is still good in that sense.
I never not draft best player available. The only thing I'll do is when things are remotely close, I could lean position of need and sacrifice a little bit on value, but it's got to be really close. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to be where I'm toying with either one anyway. Like, I'm not going to go down a road I wouldn't be going. Like, Chubb over JJ or Chase is not a road I would ever go down. There's no way I'm going to feel comfortable telling somebody to go Chubb over JJ or Chase, because I wouldn't draft Chubb in the first round. I just wouldn't. I'm drafting JJ or Chase in the top 3. Like, you're going to get Walker is in the 4th or 5th round. You're telling me even if running backs go early, you can't get him in the 3rd round? Or you can't go early 2nd round running back? You can't get you can't get Gibbs? Like, if they're scooping up running backs left and right, Gibbs is like a borderline 3rd, 4th round turn guy. You can't get him in the late 2nd round or something? I find that hard to believe it's going to be so running back heavy. Just go against traffic. If you're telling me it's that running back heavy, can you start 4 wide receivers or no?
Yeah, we have 3 flexes.
Bro, you're missing an opportunity to draft against traffic. If what you're saying is true, and let's just say running backs are scooped up in an ungodly fashion. I'm not talking about a little running back heavy. I'm saying if you feel like what you're saying is true, you'd be getting Olave. You would get JJ, Olave. You'd have Garrett Wilson. You got Olave and Garrett Wilson. Is that who you have?
London.
Okay. So you would get Chase, draft against traffic, scoop up, have 4 elite wide receivers. I've won so many leagues with an elite quarterback like Mahomes and 4 top 7 wide receivers. And that's one of the most fun teams I've ever built in my life. I dream and drool over that opportunity to have what I consider to be 4 or 5 top 7 wide receivers with Mahomes or Burrow or Hurts. Hurts especially would be fun with that. And then you just grab Camaras and Pachecos and Swifts, and you have this that's zero running back. That's one of the most fun approaches you can go after, because you get a McKinnon, you get a Swift, you get a Kamara. Kamara's very underrated. There's no way, even if you went wide receiver with your 2 wide receiver keepers, there's no way you can't still assemble a very interesting running back room with guaranteed wide receiver and quarterback situation going on. I with a smile, I'd take on that challenge.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Gives me a little more confidence to do that.
Collusion dropping a 20 gifted membership. All right, hey, I got to let you go, pal. I got to run. Appreciate you. Who is this? Is this Matt? Matt, appreciate you, my man.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate the advice.
Ninja and Tyler, I'm gonna get to you in 1 second. I got a $20
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert.
Appreciate that. Thomas, $10 hauler. Thomas dropping this 10 wad. Let me get to Terry. I don't know if I ever read yours. Smitty, I told my brother today when Smitty retires, I'm in trouble. Don't worry, Terry. I ain't going anywhere, pal, for a long, 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 long time. Who's your favorite 13th round? 145 to 156. Tank Dell is still somebody that I entertain in that direction, but more so like a round later than that. I don't know. If you threw some names out, Sick Nasty, I could probably give you. Let's see. Let me go into a draft that's almost complete here, and see who's in the 13th round. I got your back. I got your back, bro. I got your back. Okay, 13th round. I'm gonna go 12. 12th round and down, just so I can maybe grab someone that might slip in above into that other round, like Kendre Miller. Kind of like him. Okonkwo. I kind of like him. Okonkwo's interesting. Sky Moore sometimes there. And then we get more into a more for sure guys will be available in the 13th round. Roshan, kind of like that. Okonkwo, like I said. Tank Bigsby's really fun. Jalen Reed's interesting, but he's a rookie. So Jalen Hylett's a rookie, but he's interesting. Komet, if you need a tight end, I love Komet in that territory. Even a round below that, we're talking about Laporta at tight end if you need that. Jordan Love's there. Nathaniel Dell's around later. I love Nathaniel Dell. I kind of like Nathaniel Dell over all those players that I'm throwing out. Chase Brown's interesting, rookie running back for the Bengals. Those are all just a number of guys. Sick Nasty to the moon. Sick Nasty, you're still here, right? And Terry, thank you for the super chat. Sorry, it took me long to respond to those two. Dynasty Help, Superflex Startup, Tight End Premium, Slow Draft starts a few hours. I'm picking 12. Just say a top 8 QBs are gone, plus JJ and Chase and Bijan. Who are you taking? And what round do I need to get a QB? So Dynasty, Superflex, Tight End Premium, top 8 QBs are gone. So if Trevor Lawrence, Lamar, and Fields are all gone, those are like guys that I would draft. And Bijan's gone. Wow, that's tough to say. I hope you get one of those. I hope like Lamar or T-Law. T-Law is probably the most likely to be available for you, and that would be a great pick. But honestly, you wouldn't be crazy to go like... That's tough, man. You wouldn't be crazy to go... It's Dynasty. You wouldn't be crazy to go like Gibbs and Garrett Wilson. If it's Dynasty, I would definitely take T-Law or Fields or probably Lamar if they were there, because you need to have a quarterback. But if you don't, then I'm going old. Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers, Sam Howell. I'm probably collecting like 2 or 3 of those guys, and I think you can get them in the 4 or 5 round territory. You'd be surprised at how that QB run triggers people to go, okay, I got my QB, now I got to go after the other positions for about 2-3 rounds. So around 4 or 5, I think you can pick up some guys. It's a risky play. You have to know you're playing with a little bit of fire, Thomas, if the more you wait on a quarterback. But I would not force a Watson or somebody like that. I'd rather have Garrett Wilson and Gibbs, or Bijan and Garrett Wilson would be phenomenal. Thank you for that super chat, young man. Appreciate you. Ninja, final 10 seconds, said I got to roll.
Sorry, I was on mute there, Smitty. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate you. Just one more player I wanted to put on people's radar that I think is going undervalued, and he's a tight end. Jawan Johnson for the New Orleans Saints, I think, is super undervalued. He was a top 12 tight end last year with Andy Dalton. I think Derek Carr is going to do tremendous things for him. And Jawan Johnson, remember, they shipped out Adam Troutman. So Jawan Johnson's he's the guy. And I think Derek Carr is going to do tremendous things for him. I think he can crack top 10 upside, and you can get him in super late rounds in best ball.
Yeah, I don't mind him. I mean, Taysom Hill's still somebody to like monitor, but not draft. Juwan would be the guy you draft. We'll have to see what Taysom Hill's role is, but in leagues where he goes back to the tight end situation or running back / tight end or or fullback, whatever they put a Taysom Hill at, he's still somebody to watch because if, let's say, Carr went down, they still may toy with putting him in the lineup. So if you're drafting him and holding him, there's some advantages there, especially on best ball. Just like the 18th round pick, Taysom Hill, maybe he gets a couple games where he can produce for you in a weird, crazy way. But Jawan's probably the better guy to own, I agree, from a natural tight end position. I appreciate that one. All right, Ninja, I'll see you tonight.
All right,
I'll be live at midnight. Tyler, final 10 seconds. Go.
Hey, yep, I'll see you later tonight, bud.
All right, Tyler, appreciate you. Later. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Appreciate all my super chatters. You guys absolutely rock. We had Thomas dropping the $10 hauler. We had Sick Nasty dropping one. We had Tristan dropping the $4.99. We had Jaime dropping another $5 hauler. Blake dropping the 100 spot. Terry dropping the $5 hauler. Appreciate Terry. Blake dropping another hundo. Blake dropping another hundo. We've got this one here from Melvin. Melvin dropping a $2 hauler. Living Legend dropping a $5 hauler. Ryan dropping a $5 hauler. Blake dropping a 20 spot earlier in the show. Bama dropping a $20. Thomas dropping a $20. D-Class and Salty kicking it all off. And then the gifted membership, absolute madness going on today. Gifted, let's see, 5. Gifted 5 was, or gifted 1. Let's see, gifted 5. Gifted 10. No, we didn't have gifted 5. We had gifted 20s. Gifted 20s was, let's see here. Bama with 20 gifted memberships and Russian Collusion with 20 gifted memberships. Can't thank you all enough. You guys absolutely rock. I wouldn't be here without you guys, so I just want to again say thank you and spread the word. I promise you, us getting bigger is only better for everybody watching. I can't even see you guys with all these on the screen. I'm about ready to remove them right now. But I will see you all later. Appreciate you. Appreciate you all being here. And go Christian Watson season. Go Christian Watson. I'll see you all tonight. I'm live Monday through Friday, which you're watching right now, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm live every single Monday through Friday. I'm live whenever news breaks. I'm live every Thursday, Friday, Saturday at midnight Eastern. So tonight, Friday, we're drafting on Underdog Fantasy. The link is pinned in the live chat if you want to get into that. Click that link now or use promo code Smitty. Download the Underdog app using the link pinned in the live chat. The link in the description of every video. If you don't click it in time, just go to the description of any one of my videos. Click the link that's in there that says Underdog Fantasy or use code Smitty on Underdog when you download the app and get up to $100 dollar for dollar bonus match. You deposit 10, they'll give you 10. You deposit 50, they'll give you 50. You need to do that before we draft tonight. So if you want to draft tonight, do it now. See it tonight, midnight Eastern. Now get out of here. Get out of here. Watson 4.2840 speed. Graveyard Crew. Do it live. Frank, appreciate you. Klondike says Watson, GOAT. Watson animation inbound. I'm creating it now. See you all later. Thank you all my gifted membership givers out there. Thank you all my YouTube exclusive members out there. Use them emojis. 4 horsemen emoji. If anybody didn't know, this is the 4 horsemen emoji.
The 4 horsemen. Drafting Chase in round 1. Hall in 2. Burrow in 3. London in 4. Try Gibbs in 3. Burrow in 4. Wilson in 2. No problem. Combinations of these monsters will give your league mates nightmares, especially Bijan 1, Alavi 2, Burrow 3, and Gibbs 4. Don't lie. You just made an oopsie in your pants, didn't you? Ride for horses at the same time. The 4 horsemen.
Later, everybody.